Kaboom. There we are. What's up, everybody? I'm Long Tom. My hair's doing a weird part thing up there. But yeah, welcome to the 1 year anniversary, the birthday of the Long Tom Lounge. Um, let's see. Oh, we got a bunch of people in chat already. What's up, Rooster, Syria, AXR, Wrath of Death? Welcome here, bud. Um, Trillin, hey, thank you, bud. Yeah, it's been a crazy year, as I'm sure many of you are aware. Anybody who's been with us since the beginning, which is December 7th, right, of 23. So it's been what, a year and a half now, I guess.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
so crazy.
right. The game hasn't even been out that long, honestly. But hey, that zebra's in the chat. What's up, that zebra? But in that time, I only have three worlds. Uh, I have Long Tom-GRI-LA, which is my original survival world. The Toy Box, which is my original sandbox, and then Caverns and Klombos, which you folks all know we do Tuesday nights. We're going to do an episode actually tonight following this as well. I'm going to split it into two streams. Um, but a lot of the lore and a lot of the story and stuff that um, is in Caverns and Klombos came from little skits and little bits that I was playing, just with myself in my survival and my sandbox world. So I figured the best place to start on my birthday is the place that literally the game gave birth to me. So we'll pop into Long Tom-GRI-LA and yeah. Um,
This is incredible, and I am so excited right now. Also, as a fun fact, I have literally been doing this with you for much shorter than we are celebrating today. I think it's been about
it's
30
true.
weeks for me, which is still pretty awesome. But even funner fact, I've definitely deleted more worlds than you have in that time.
I see if I get to a point if I don't like something, I'll just blow it up. You know what I mean? There's no need for a new world. I'll just I'll just erase this one. It's I do reformatting. That's um. But yeah, let's see where you spawn. Actually, I don't think you've ever been to my survival world before.
I spawned in some really cool bed. I might have because I spawned out of bed.
Whoa, you
This
definitely
looks
did.
really cool.
All right. Well,
This
I
looks
will
really
be
cool.
right there. Uh, I want to show off my humble beginnings. I spawned in this field with Cuddle Team Leader, and this is the entirety of my first base. Um, the reason being, I've played survival type games and different crafting, building style games and RPGs my entire life. So the first thing I wanted to do was break the game. I wanted to go do the thing that would get me the farthest ahead in the shortest amount of time. So I took off on what at the time was a grand adventure. In the end, well, here I'll leave us a little marker. Uh, we all know how scary the game can be right in the beginning, especially in the night and things like that. So the farther I got away from my campfire, the more concerned I became, and I was certain that I had traveled for days and days and days. I turned on flying in this world because I'd already lost the survival tag because I had to turn on storm sick enemies, which is unfortunate because I had never done anything outside of the you know, cut the default settings. But then when all that came out, the old worlds weren't set to it by default. So if you wanted to continue your story, you had to lose your special tag. But yeah, the very first thing I thought as I was running around all this is like there was absolutely no reason for them to go this hard with the weather and the terrain and all the different things that you run into. Hey, what's up, friendly bandits? That's interesting. Never seen that before.
Yeah, the early game is so terrifying that I actually just got respawned right where I spawned.
I'm curious where you are. Are you not at? Yeah, you should be right near the house. There's a kitchen there and all kinds of stuff.
Should I start heading to you, or should
No,
I'm not sure. Like,
I'm coming to you.
okay, perfect. Okay, cool. I will.
But yeah, help yourself
Try
to
to.
anything around the base that you need for survival.
Excellent. I just gathered some ways to defend myself.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Had you actually come in at my spawn, I have guest services there. It's a chest with all charms and weapons and gear and etc. etc.
Yeah, I actually I found the there's no charms, but there was a chest with plenty of defensive items.
Right on. So after totally falling in love with the landscapes and vistas and traveling what I thought was at least a month away from spawn, I found one of those enemy villages and decided that with my wooden weapons I was going to take it from them, which I did. So my very second base is what we see here. I'm pretty sure everyone has this base. It's just the walled-in remains of, some sad ruined town. All my villagers live in the same room. But the highlight of this place, not many people have this. I'll even go into first-person mode for this. This is a crafting bench museum. One of every version of the crafting benches before they took the upgrading benches away from us. But yeah, so that's fun. And
Wait,
this,
can I just come and see that?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
And
I
this
have to
was
see that.
just mainly my I'm going to mess around base and figure out how to, make the game work. One of my favorite features Monday actually is the building you're in. If you come out here to me,
Yes, on my way.
and you look up at the windows, it looks like a very nice and fully furnished apartment. It's even better at night because you get the silhouette of all those things. But as you may have noted when you go inside, it is just a fake facade with a campfire, and this is where all my villagers
Oh,
chill.
wow. Whoa, that's so cool. Like the whole thing is hollow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
But from the outside, it looks like something out from The Walking
It
Dead.
does. That
But
is
yeah,
so cool.
this was my I'm gonna start learning the game, breaking the game adventure place. I've got all the Fortnite family I call them here. It's all Tomato Head and you know the oh my God, the Durburger guy's name I just forgot. Quick, somebody tell me what his name is. Beef Boss. Holy cow, I was like Sir Burger, but that's for the... There is a Sir Burger version of him where he's wearing a helmet. It's hilarious. Because obviously the helmet is enormous.
That's amazing.
Let's see. Oh, I haven't been paying any attention to chat. Night Queen. What's up, Night Queen? Welcome. Um, Lots of hellos. The early Lego Fortnite days were the most fun for me. Um, yeah, absolutely. When we didn't know yet what was going on or what was coming, and it was, even just the bare bones of it was honestly amazing. And that's part of what I was saying earlier. They didn't need to go this hard with the graphics. Like, look at this sunset. Like, it could have been a yellow dot moving through the air made out of Lego bricks. It could have looked like nothing, and most of us would have been happy with that.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. The graphics are literally the biggest reason that keep me playing this game almost every day I get a chance to.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then following this, I kind of fell in with a bunch of bigger creators, and because I like to be the problem. Um, while everyone else was building the coolest vehicle that they could, I decided that I was going to build the lamest vehicle that I could. So here we have just a regular old box truck. It has the smallest engine possible in it. It's based on like one of those like 1950s dog catcher vans.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and I have a video where you can lure enemy AI if you put an extra step on here. You can lure them into the back and then jump over this little fence and drive the car and bring them other places and drop them off again.
Wow. You know what's incredible about this is like you literally tried to build this like really ugly vehicle and it turns out to be super functional.
Yeah, and back in the day, uh, when Frostpine was all the rage, uh, with the Frostpine bumper on it, you could just plow through everything. It didn't rocks, trees, it did not matter. But again, it is the smallest engine, and despite the fact that it is a box truck, um, it has only one small chest in the back, the smallest chest, so it has the smallest amount of storage as well. Um,
That's amazing.
but that place up there, Friendly Foundation, I used, like I was saying, as a base of operations for my real plans. Um, as soon as Lego Fortnite came out and there was swords and shields. The obvious call in your mind is for, some kind of medieval, you know, D&D type situation.
Yes.
So I scouted out a few locations, and I found myself the perfect place to live.
This is actually where I spawned in your world.
Right on. Yeah, this is my house. Hey, what's up, buddy? Hey,
This is so awesome, by the
couple
way. I
chickens.
love how like it's incredibly cluttered, but it looks like meticulously put together at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this is my spot. I've got a chair. This is where I sleep. For those of you who saw the tour video that Haskins did, we were just talking about this other night, like 11 months ago. Um, this is you've seen this joke already. But this is my actual spawn spot in the world. Um, when I do die, which doesn't happen much anymore in this world, uh, I respawn under that bridge. But the idea of what we're coming up on is that myself and the AIs who have come to live here, like discovered this place and have been kind of renovating it. I built my wife a little cottage over here. This is my wife's house.
Oh,
Um,
this is awesome.
this is a custom. I built her custom stairs and this fireplace, and a little tiny bedroom up at the
Little
top of the
loft
stairs.
area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Pew, pew,
This is
pew, pew, pew.
very cozy.
And some stacked fences for the window, to get the vent, because otherwise it'd get much, much too hot up top with the, and then
Yes,
little
and
little
AXR from
kitchenette
your
area.
chat. AXR from your chat brought up a good point about how they miss the old Frostpine and how it kind of stinks that they got nerfed. And I don't have many complaints about this game, but if you're listening, Epic, please fix vehicles, please. Just fix them. Just fix vehicles, please.
Yeah, but the idea, again, being that as we come closer to this, this is a old settlement that got fixed. So this path is all broken and overgrown. But as we get closer and closer, it comes together more and more until eventually, we're at the castle.
Oh, wow. So this is some of your earliest builds too, as well?
Yes, this is the very, very beginning. This is pre-Mech Mayhem. This is, before everything, really.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm starting to understand, like, how you're able to, like, regularly produce incredible stuff in K&K, because this is ridiculous for an early build. This is crazy.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a reputation for a while of liking rocks. This rock garden is why. I went out and, found all these rocks and brought them back here. I just remembered I can fly, so I can give people a bird's eye view of things.
This is so cool. This is the coolest use of boulders I have. Nope, I'm sorry. I have to say second coolest use. First
Right.
is reserved for serious,
I was
incredible
about to
Indiana
say.
Jones.
I was about to say, I know who you're gonna say. Yes, AXR, so many rocks. But I'd be out, mining or find a cave, and I'd be on my way home and I'd find one. I'd already be on my way home most of the time, so it didn't seem like work at the time. I was already going that way. But if you come up in, we come to our main courtyard, which houses our local restaurant and tavern, the Bronze Llama. And then yeah, this is the spot. Um, I have been sent a friend request in the middle of my stream by Kiko LG Gamer. It is now taking up the majority of my screen. Thank you, Kiko. I'll get to that in a bit. But here we have my wildly over-decorated village square.
Whoa.
And
Whoa, that is so cool.
if you look at it from a distance, up at the top of the stairs, there's the knight as well, kind of showing up as if they're like greeting each other in a way. I was kind of going for like Saint George versus the dragon kind of thing, but if the dragon was
Yeah.
like, Pete the magic dragon or Puff the magic dragon, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
like, he shows up to slay the dragon and he's like, have a bird, But yeah, I try to put, a little bit of that kind of, art history spin into things if I can. I try to keep my builds more towards the realistic end usually. Things are plausible in my world, like, I don't get me wrong, like in K&K, I'll definitely do like a floating castle with a wizard's, blah blah blah. In this world, it was architecture and things, ahead of everything. But
Absolutely, yeah.
outside of our main square and stuff here, we've got this is actually Hayseed's house over here. He recently, after the Star Wars people came and introduced technology to this world, we got TVs and lights and things like that. And actually, the Bronze Llama got a major renovation. They have an open mic night now. They have a little stage in here, all thanks to some Star Wars technology. Dana who used to work this back area didn't used to be here at all, so it was just the front. Um, but now the Star Wars people came, so we have a like serve safe certified industrial kitchen back here. And kind of same deal with the upstairs. The inn used to end here and have all of our bedrooms, but more and more people came and apparently don't seem to ever check out, so that had to be expanded as well. My plan is to one day just make a giant bridge of rooms that just extends out this direction infinitely.
That would be amazing. And also, W for Slope. They just gifted 10 memberships to your
Hey,
channel.
Slope, thank you. That good looking out. Appreciate that, Slope. Slope has definitely been one of my biggest benefactors in my uh, journey here as a content creator. But back here, I was testing the limits of kind of like the AI and what lengths they would go to. I can see if you pull out something to build, you can see the border of the world ends pretty much where this pole is. I've marked them, there's a pole over there and a pole over here. Um, and this is Dana's bed. In order to get to Dana's bed, she will leave the village by quite a distance and then take this set of stairs back here and then come back technically inside the village to get to her bed. The same is true when Dana wants to use this grill or this juicer, or excuse me, food processor. She will walk this whole maze because
Whoa,
her AI
really?
has decided that it is time for her to use the grill. Yep. Uh,
Whoa, that is so cool.
yeah. So my plan is over here where I was going to build Lion Knight's house, I was going to set up the furniture and different things so that it looked like a normal interior, but there was like a stack of books at the end of the couch that blocked you from going that way. You know what I mean? So it would have been a maze through their entire house, upstairs and back downstairs, and then out to a porch, and then downstairs again to get to their. I was going to do a whole thing, but as we know, uh, you get distracted by other things in this game pretty quick. Um, so that never came to pass. Actually, my entire survival storyline, everything kind of petered out when Caverns and Kolombos came along.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
this used to be my second ship. I built this pre-Mech Mayhem up at the first fort that I showed you up there, and flew it here with switches, and landed it here, and I never touched it again. And the game did this to it all by itself. I literally have not touched it since prior to Mech Mayhem, and this is sadly where it's at. Um,
Wow.
these catwalks around the outside were, for first-person polls, so people could check it out. But yeah, so this whole place is a Tinker's Manor on Pirate Bay, um, and the pirate being, of course, that ship. And I have Blackbeard or Blackheart, excuse me, around here somewhere. And the running joke with him is he works on the lumber mill uh, for the planks. Um, ching. And yeah, that's pretty much the place. Now, there used to be a grand forest over there on the other side. It would have been a backdrop to that, but I'm sure we all recall the wildly impressive thunder and lightning storms that would eradicate everything they came across. So if you fly up, you can actually see, because the change in uh, the ground texture, where my forest used to be.
Oh, wow.
I remember when this was
Yeah,
all cornfields.
that's so
Yeah.
insane.
But let's see, what do we got for time? We are already pushing it. Um, so why don't we get out of here?
Okay.
Um, we'll go uh, pop in survival, and then we'll run around K&K.
Okay, perfect. Also,
Um,
just so you're aware, I made an oopsie and I set this stream setup on my weaker computer and it is overheating, so I did have to end my stream and
oh,
disconnect my second monitor.
oh
So
no.
I can no longer see chat, but I'm working on a fix for that right now, just so
Oh,
you're
don't
aware.
don't even worry about it. I will try and keep a better eye on chat. Um, but yeah, let's see. Toy box. We'll do the toy box real quick. There's only two main things I want to show in there. Um, well, I guess I could show you a third one on the way. But I had mentioned how all this tied into K&K earlier. The world we just left, there was a bunch of storylines that I had planned for videos and stuff in that world. Uh, and one of which had a subplot where the AIs were essentially uh, Westworlding. I don't know if people are familiar with Westworld, but
Oh, that's so
uh,
cool.
the AI start gaining consciousness um, and realizing that they're in a video game. But then beyond that, uh, like my Lego character thought he was a real person, when in reality it's my Fortnite character in my Red Dead map playing with Lego at camp, which he thinks then that he's also real, which in turn is me playing Fortnite on my couch at home, and I'm here and I think I'm real, so on and so forth. Like it was going to be like this whole running joke about being in the simulation. But like I said, a lot of that got set aside. Um, but beyond that, that's where a lot of the, you know, um, you know, like I like for things that happen in my world to have an explanation. You know what I mean? So, for example,
Yes.
like why does the village square? Why is it a llama? There's got to be a reason that the Legos worship this llama. Now, you know what I mean? So, stuff like that. The first llama, the Church of Latter Stage Complexity, different things like that, all came from me just goofing around playing the game. It's not, like I sat down one day with the plan to, you know, oh, I'm gonna make a crazy giant world. Um, it was just things that came up in passing, as I was playing the game. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
and to that point, even with the Caverns and Colombo world, as I made a comment to you earlier about what's really impressive is you have this like massively developed world, and at the same time, you haven't even explored 50% of the continent. It's absolutely
right,
mind blowing.
right. Um, yeah, there's so much to be done and so much left to do in that world. It's crazy to think about. There's the stuff that we can still figure out, you know, with the amount of space that we have left. Um, but yeah, so these are all my little itty bitty toys I made when I first got into Mech Mayhem. And then immediately after that, we had a huge content drought. So what I was doing was flying around building prefabs and finding other pre-built buildings, breaking their foundations, putting balloons on them, and flying them back to my space. I believe you've flown my Grand Manor, right?
This is so incredibly amazing. I've definitely been on this server before because my like inventory is full.
Right on.
But I don't remember any of this. But this
Okay.
is so cool.
So this is my grand
Oh my
manor that I do barrel
god!
rolls in. This is how I learned to fly. If anyone's ever curious, and I learned to do this on 3 channels. Um, you know, this thing
This is
steers.
mind
It,
blowing.
I'm not gonna do. Well, okay, I'll do the barrel roll. Why not? Um, gotta
I
hit the
literally
gas.
can't believe you're piloting a prefab building right now, doing a barrel roll in front of me.
Um,
This is
at
insane.
the time, it was the largest prefab that we had too. Um, but yeah, this is well before all the. Oh, I'm not going forward anymore. That's why this looks funny. Um, oh, well, well, this is new. It's never done that before. All right. So, anyways, we got a whole big building. That's what I used to do for fun, was fly around these ridiculous things. And then
That's so cool.
I got involved doing some like Star Warsy type stuff, which if we go this way, you can check that out real briefly. Um, and
Oh yes.
there came a point where, hey, what's up, Haskins? I didn't see you come in, bud. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, thank you, Syria, for the. Yeah, it was gonna be like the Lego Matrix meets Lego Inception. It was gonna be super deep. That's all. But like I was saying, I got into building Star Wars vehicles for a while. That's another. Hey, Haskins with the 10 gifted. Thank you, Haskins. That's another tour you can check out on Haskins' channel. Is Mad Puck's Star Wars World. We collabed on most of that. But at one point, they got busy and I got busy, and uh, while I was waiting for us to get back to it, I built this guy, which for those of you who aren't ancient like me, um,
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, the 1986, I believe, Mel Brooks classic, is a Star Wars spoof. And this was the vehicle of the main character, Lone Star. This is called the Eagle 5. It looks like some of the parts are melting through it currently, but you can still get inside. This is another little thing that I built on 3 channels, because again, uh, we used to be super limited, even more limited than we are now.
Yes, we
Also,
yeah, I agree.
before inflatable balloons, etc., etc. So all of this vehicle's turning and upward momentum and forward lift, etc., etc., is generated from those 3 channels. You used to be so much
Yeah, that is
stronger.
so crazy. Yeah. And also, I definitely have seen this build before. I
Right,
definitely
right.
remember this now. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I'm actually going to park this here. I'm not going to worry about it because we got so much to see. But yeah, that's the Eagle 5. Now that I think about it, you definitely have been, because I know you've seen this next thing that I built. Because I recall you and Trone and I think Rooster might have been here. We went and did the pilgrimage up the mountain, up Mount Dude.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this I built around the same time as the Eagle 5. This is a little thing I like to call the Long Tom's Revenge, based off of Blackbeard's ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge.
This is
Everything
insane.
in this is on the XY axis. Nothing's flipped. There's no angled. There's no nothing. And
Oh, wow, that's even more impressive.
it is a functioning village. Um, no one has ever seen the interior on film, so we'll go do a little interior. Here's our workshop in the foredeck.
Oh wow! You
And
even
then,
got one of the older workbenches.
yeah, you can come in and check out the Maidenhead and the Yardarm. I almost forgot what the name of it was. Um, but yeah, we got one of the old benches. Um, and then, Meowskulls, he's the captain's bodyguard. He's in here breaking stone all day. That's his job. Once
That's
again,
awesome.
Blackheart is working on the lumber mill for the planks. Um, but yeah, and then of
Oh
course,
wow! I love that like perfect fit through
yeah,
there. That's so cool.
I did that on stream once upon a time. I don't quite recall anymore. But yeah, you can go kind of up to the top of the rigging. Then of course we got our life rafts. Um,
Oh,
and
that's so cool.
like I was saying, no one's ever seen the interior, so no one knows that the galley is down here in the galley. Um, and then directly above that, we have the captain's deck with the steering wheel, the helm of not very much helmness. That's another reason this still sits here is because when the Pirates update came out, I was positive that we were going to get, the helm that had been in the ads and, different things like that. But I was sadly mistaken.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love
we
this
don't need
game
to
to
talk
death,
about
but
it.
I definitely wish we got some things.
But this is the captain's quarters. Sally Sails. It took me longer to find Sally Sails than it did to build the ship by far. These are her quarters. Here's her bedroom back here, her desk. She's got her own private rest facilities. But then out back on the deck, there is her own personal balcony. And this is a thing that actually existed. Um, Blackbeard put this lavish and wildly elaborate and expensive facade on the back of his boat to essentially taunt the ships that were chasing him. From what I understand, the quote is, if they're going to chase us, we might as well give them something to look at. And because his ship was
That
so
is
fast,
insane.
no one could catch him. So they'd shoot, cannonballs, and they'd all, fall short always. So it didn't matter how expensive it was because no one could ever hit it. But if you look closely on here, there are uh, 4 llamas, and there are a group of 7 warriors, and then another group of 4 warriors.
Huh. Why
Which,
does that seem so familiar?
yeah, it's weird, right?
It's almost like this had a huge like impact on certain things.
Yeah, yeah. But all right, that's the second to last thing. The last thing we'll go see is directly tied to the storyline in K&K. Um, Man, I wildly, grossly underestimated the amount of time this was going to take, which is super funny to me.
I know. I thought we would already be in the K&K world, but I'm not complaining at all. This is amazing, and I've been having a blast this whole
Yeah, yeah.
time.
And honestly, if K&K is a little late tonight, it's all right. And regardless, we would have to be a little late because until we get back to the Pele Bon Anya Islands, uh, we can't all log in because it'll stretch the game too thin.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, so we're gonna have to do that anyway.
this is the fun thing about my world. I have no idea what this is. I'm sure I was doing something one day, though. I bet it made sense at the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will be perfectly honest. I've deleted many worlds because I have accidentally built something underwater that I can't figure out how to destroy,
Yeah.
or I have accidentally destroyed something massive and now there's thousands of little pieces floating at various heights across the map.
Yep. Here we're passing a buoyancy test, apparently.
That is so awesome, actually. Just like the way you tested things was really interesting.
Yeah. And that's you know, that was the other thing too. I'd come in here and I'd just do stuff like that. Be like, what is this way compared to this? What does this do when you do this? You know, I do a lot of experimenting. Um, that
Yo.
uh,
Th- This is the coolest base I've ever seen, and yeah, that's just the throne, isn't it? Oh
this
my
is
god.
the throne. Judge other people.
Oh my god, yo, let's go. Oh, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if I am worthy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Ah, thank you, thank you. But yeah, no, I
These
mean,
are my gifts to you.
you know,
I
I,
pay homage.
I sit up there and you know, I say, you know, very, very judgy things like, "You're doing a really great job, buddy," you know, stuff like that. But this is the throne that is referred to in uh, a lot of the K&K lore. And again, here we have this llama bringing a small throne, a chair, if you will, as a offering to the throne. Once again,
Oh,
so
wow. Yes.
here we have the first llama coming to the throne atop Mount Dude, and you know, making his offering. Um, and then,
Wow.
of course, up here we've got frozen fish stick and polar Pele. We've got these white flowers. These are the only place in the world these flowers grow.
Oh, that
Uh,
is so cool.
and then, oh, hey, polar Pele, what's up, buddy? Get out of my way. But then we also have up here, this is Yeti. Yeti lives on top of the mountain. Um,
Nice.
there's camps down below where people come in and um, stream saying it's lagging bad, but I'm also getting no notifications about that. So
Huh,
hopefully
that is kind
it's
of weird.
just the picture and not the audio. Bum. That's so interesting because I'm not getting any. Uh-oh. Shoot.
I am pulling up the stream on my phone right now to check.
Yeah, it's saying YouTube is YouTubing. I think that's exactly what's going on.
Oh no, it
Uh,
seems to be working just fine. Like I heard you say that it's saying and I see you stroking your chin and
yeah. All right. Well, it was poor quality. I did literally nothing. It's gone back to excellent connection again. So we'll just pretend everything's fine. How's that sound?
yeah,
Um,
there's no matrix to see here. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. But Yeti lives up here, and like I was saying, there's the encampments down below, which we can't see because they're too far away. Maybe if we look in the spyglass. Nope, still too far. So as people come up to the throne on their pilgrimage, there's a bunch of animals down below, and they send up wool and you know different fur and whatnot to deliver to Yeti because he feels bad for all the Lego people who live down below because he thinks they look cold. So he's up here making them sweaters.
Oh,
There's this
that's
little yeah.
incredible.
That's Yeti's whole purpose in this world is to just take care of other people. But yeah, up here at the base of the throne, we have the duality represented, and then once again, four llamas staring out into the distance.
Golden llamas, nonetheless.
These are of course the four llamas of the apocalypse. One
Excellent.
represented by um, a different color flower. The power of Yeti. Oh no! Oh no! I'm getting all kinds of conflicting information. Some people say
Wait a minute.
it's bad. Some people say it's good. The
Yeah, on my end it looks perfectly fine. I'm not sure what's
YouTube
going on. That's very
YouTube says it's
interesting.
fine. My Streamlabs says it's fine. We're gonna pretend it's fine. But all right. So all of these things, like I was saying, put together, ends up creating this lore of, um, essentially a higher power coming to this matrix realm.
Yes.
It keeps redirecting me to a different video, but then when I refresh, it brings me back. I don't. People are saying it ended, but if you click on it, it's. No, I'm getting none of this information on my end. Like I'm not
I'm
getting
gonna
notifications. I'm not getting.
I'm gonna reload on
Um,
my end. Also, remember the date.
yeah, yeah, maybe. Um,
Yeah, no, it like it's showing is perfectly like it looks like you're going 60 FPS right now on my phone. Oh, but it also says there's only 2 people watching right now. Oh, that's not good.
all right, I just got a warning. Like just now got a warning that about buffering errors. Um, what is going on? Yeah, people in chat are saying they keep having to go back to shoot, back to the channels. All right.
Yeah, this is definitely weird because on my end it's like it seems like it's working fine, but at the same time, it's literally saying that there's only 2 of us watching.
Um, let me. Um, okay. This is super super annoying because like it says it's live on my channel and I can go to it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And like I said, what do I do? I couldn't even think of a way that I could even affect it in the slightest.
No, I
Um,
agree. This is really strange. I've never encountered this issue with YouTube before.
let's see. No, that's normal. The stream ended at least 3 times. It's acting weird. Like, and again, I'm not getting any notifications on my. I just got that one a minute ago, but yeah, you need Yeti to revert to Wi-Fi. Well, I mean, to be fair, this is my luck. Um, I am, for those of you who might be joining us for the first time, I am completely winging this. Every time I turn on the camera, like I wish I knew what I was doing. That'd be cool. Um, but yeah, don't jinx it there, Zebra. Or you either, Syria. Keep in mind we're also on a loading screen, so there's
Yeah, I usually have a pretty well-structured strategy when it comes to streaming, but my issue is I find that I'm often trying to play like 40 checkers and forgetting that the game is actually chess.
mm, yeah.
So like I'm just
Let's see.
completely over-prepared and it never works.
Yeah. And that's one of the things about Caverns and Klombos. Now that we're moving into the Caverns and Klombos section, might as well talk about that. There's no way to plan for it. There are things that I have built in this world months and months and months ago that you guys have never seen, and to be fair, I don't know that you will. Just because of the nature of, uh, the free will of humans, you know.
Yes,
Um,
yeah. But
so
that's kind of like fascinating though. Like, and it's also like it leaves that like uncertainty and potential in game for us to like accidentally stumble on something we were
right,
never meant to see. Like
right,
that's
right.
that literally exists now that we know there are things in this world you intend for us to never see. So
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome now.
yeah. So when everybody comes into this world, this is Spawn. This was just a quick build thrown together for introducing people to the world of Caverns and Klombos. For those of you who don't know, Caverns and Klombos is based off of Dungeons and Dragons, which has been around, you know, since the 70s, invented by Gary Gygax and company. Um, and it's influenced pretty much every game that you can think of. If you've leveled up in a game, if you have increased your strength in a game, like a lot of that inspiration comes from what was a pencil and paper game back in the day. So, of course, naturally, it being a pencil and paper game, um, and this being a video game, you know, how do you translate one to the other? So that's what we've essentially been trying to do is convert uh, volumes upon volumes of information, honestly, about a game uh, into Lego terminology. Um, so the point of this place was to start talking about that and introducing some of it. You know, for example, the visual language of the game, you know, what certain uh, things meant in the game. You know, for example, like this is always going to be a fighter, you know, or a guard, or you know, et cetera, et cetera. You know, when you are looking for, you know, certain things, you know, you want to find a place to stay. You know, you're going to look for this sign. You're going to, you know, find these objects related to that. You know, so that, for example, if I just dropped my players into any environment like this, they can look around and know, oh, that workbench means that's a shop. You know, that enchanting, you know, that means this means that. I know that if I go over to that building, because I see the meat on the wall, you know, above the door, that I can get a bed. Oh, look at that. There's even a bed up on top of the sign. Neat. So that was the main purpose of this place. But then beyond that, also just to give them an idea of, you know, like kind of role playing situations. So
Yeah.
uh, go ahead, Monday.
I was actually going to say, we also learned one of the most important rules of Caverns and Klombos, and that is never, under any circumstance, trust the Cavern Master.
So uh, along those lines, I railroaded them into a bar fight, which of course resulted in them being detained by the local constabulary. I think I said that word right. So you know, then they had to figure out, you know, how they were going to break out. You know, they had the opportunity to like talk their way out. They had you know, a lot of different, you know, role play situations were presented. Just to again give people the idea of what we were going to be doing. Now keep in mind, this all started. What was it? The 1st of July.
This is insane. Yeah, this is taking me
So
back. Wow.
many, many, many moons ago. And the game has gone through so many iterations since then. But the idea of, you know, turn-based combat and, you know, whether you were going to go through the front door or over the wall, et cetera, et cetera. The idea being to get to and through and back to this back tower where there was, you know, the boss, quote unquote. So yeah, uh, this little place uh, we called, or I call Tudor Royalton, which is Tutorial Town. Uh, K&K is a very punny place indeed. But after everyone was run through their, uh, oh, I know where markers are, was run through their like introductory training, you know, then we kind of hopped into it. The idea being they all escaped jail, They were now on the run, and they ended up traveling through the night, um, and ending up at the farm of a local farmer. Hey, hey, that zebra. Thank you, that zebra. Man, you guys are great. That zebra, Haskins, Slope. Did I miss anybody else while I was telling tales? Uh, really appreciate that, you guys. I never thought like a year ago that I was ever going to even start a channel, much less that it was
Yeah,
going to succeed in any capacity. Like
it's crazy to like think of. I bring this up all the time for like at least 10 weeks now. I tell people like my friends and stuff like that, like I've never consistently played a Dungeons and Dragons based campaign this long. This is
right.
by far the longest, most consistent, and
Heck
probably
yeah,
the funnest I've ever partaken in, and
that's
it's
awesome.
absolutely incredible to see that there's actually people that like want to see the story.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate that first of all, but beyond that, I can't remember the last consistent game that I've had of any duration since honestly high school. Um, so my game is completely frozen. In case chat was wondering why I'm just hanging out in the air. Um,
Yep, same here.
so to be an adult, I'm gonna be 47, I believe. I'm bad at calendar math. Whatever. I'm gonna be 47 or 48 this year. Like so to be an adult and be able to do something like this every week and like have people enjoy it, even if it was just you guys playing. Oh no,
Disconnected.
oh no, we've doomed ourselves.
Is that my fault? Because I was trying to log in right now.
That
Trying to
is
connect.
I think
100%
it
the
was
reason.
your fault,
Yep.
Musa.
Please do not anyone try to join the world.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because we were on the other side of
Yeah,
it, so
we
it's trying
we're
to
over
load
by
way
we're
too
over by the
much.
Capitol. Yep, this was my concern.
Oh man,
I should have said something honestly. Hey Remy, how you doing?
doing all right. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, and Tron's in here too now. What's up, Tron?
What up, y'all?
Uh,
This is just so cool. Just showing the tutorialton again is like so just sparking so many memories. It's crazy. I even the amount of people that have come and go. Like I miss Gracie and Rooster and Abide Guy so much. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I tried to get a reunion adventure together, but I don't know that it'll happen.
You never know. Maybe we'll get something someday.
Right. All right. So while this is all happening, by which I mean happening, Tuno and Rexy, let's go, baby, long Tom. 1 year old. I just changed my first diaper. Thank you.
That's right. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you, bud. So yeah, while this is getting done being nothing because we have to wait for our ghost to leave, I'll do this. Um, I in Caverns and Klombos, I play the role of the Cavern Master, who is I jokingly call the Hand of Fate. In Dungeons and Dragons, the Dungeon Master is who controls the game. They're not necessarily your adversary, but they present situations for you to try and get out of. So I don't normally wear my cowboy skin, which everyone at this point I'm sure associates with me. Um, and I honestly I wear a lot of different skins. So everybody has a key to the world. So as the Cavern Master, I present different characters to them. Sometimes I'll jump out of the world, switch my outfit, and jump back in. And all the time though, my true nature is this. The skin's called Sinister Glare. But yeah, He's the guy pulling the strings, badum ching. But I mentioned that we had escaped Tudor Royalton, and we ended up at a farm, which, with any luck, we'll be loading into shortly. Because, well, there's two reasons. Every adventure needs a place to begin. You know, a simple setup. And every game kind of needs your like introductory area. You know, where like you learn how the game works around you. You're introduced to the game physics and the game rules, etc., etc. In our case here, that was a little place we called Hayseed's Farm. And of course, Hayseed's Farm was run by Hayseed. He was there with Turk and Sunflower. Holy cow, I'm all the way back at spawn.
You know, fun fact about Hayseed, Monday Olives, have never ever once doubted his loyalty or friendship to the party. Just to put that out there.
Right. Yeah. They ended up putting up for the evening in a farmer by the name of John Tunstall's barn, known to his friends as Hayseed. For those of you who watch westerns, John Tunstall was the name of the man who took in all the characters from Young Guns. It's a little Easter egg for y'all. I'll do my best to try and point out some Easter eggs.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of things you've put in there and then like expressed to me later, and I've been like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't realize that.
So this is Hayseed's farm. This is the barn in question, which, you know, it may not look like a barn, kids, but this is an imagination game. And, you know, the characters all set up their beds, and it was from here that we did little missions like, you know, taking out, you know, a pack of wolves, or, you know, going to take out a pack of wolves that turned out to be a bear, you know, things like that. Or two bears. But the main attraction of this place came one night while the party was sitting around the fire discussing life and where they had come from. And let's see, at this point, we had 5 adventurers with us. We had Gracie with us still. We had Rooster. We had Trone as Harry Spellsail. Monday as Monday, and Abide Guy as Abide Guy. And in the past of Playwellia, which is the name of the realm that this all takes place in, Playwellia, actually, for those of you who are unaware, Lego comes from 2 Danish words, which I'm not going to try and pronounce because I will embarrass myself and the Danes. But translate to play well. So here we are in the land of Playwellia. So these heroes ended up in one of their many adventures helping a nearby town, which we'll fly past shortly, called the Hamlet of Villageville, and they became known locally as the heroes of the Hamlet of Villageville. Now, in the realm of Playwellia, there was an ancient evil, you know, yada yada yada. We all know the trope of an ancient evil returning. Such is the case here. And part of that ancient evil being released is the ever-increasing storms throughout the world, and the arrival of skeletons in the night. Again, this ties back to my forest being destroyed in my survival world, and then of course naturally the skeletons, and night used to being way longer.
Wow. Yeah, you're so right about the night. And also, that's so cool to see the connection between the original builds with the forest being disappearing and how you pointed that out. That's
Yeah.
mind blowing.
So we have here my tribute to, all those trees we lost in storms. Haskins knows my pain. Where it would start raining and you would immediately log out because you didn't want to lose any of your foliage. It's like that tree is the whole build. So anyways, this tree was knocked down by one of those magical storms. This was built before we could do angled building, freely. Um, there's, I believe, 7 or 9 different angles that I built on for this tree. I don't recall. But the joke, of course, as you may notice, the leaves are the green books. This tree was a tree of binding, um, under which were buried the ancient artifacts, relics of that ancient evil that had been taken away. So now our unwitting party was, wrapped into this. They needed to find out what was going on with these artifacts. They went to ask questions of various people. Ended up coming back to find John Tunstall, aka Hayseed, had been despawned in their absence while trying to protect their whereabouts from dark riders that were searching for them. The other reason, I said there was many reasons that this was built here, is this road. I needed a way to keep the players on track in a completely open world. You know, there's a lot of distractions in Lego, obviously. So I thought the best way to plan out this adventure was to just keep following a road. I ended up finding this road. It's the longest contiguous road at the time I had seen in Lego Fortnite. I found longer ones since, but this was the concept for K&K. Was I wanted all the locations to feel like people actually live there. I wanted distance to feel real. I didn't want it to be, oh, it's 800 meters. I wanted it to be 3 days ride. So again, a lot of this is simple. A lot of this is prefabs. Some of them obviously are, customized a little bit, but the point was more to tell the story than to be necessarily super impressive. But again, all this was built in a time where, we couldn't build on angles. We couldn't, the game didn't just allow us to do stuff, so you had to come up with tricks to make a lot of things work.
Which is impressive in itself. And if I'm not mistaken, is this the original place where the green guy was?
Nope, nope. This is the
No, no, no,
town
no, no, no.
that
Okay, I
was
am mistaken.
defended from many, many bandits. This was you guys.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, okay, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
you
Okay, yeah.
folks
Sorry about the mix-up.
fought 100 something bandits up there. So, but yeah. So naturally, uh, having lost their mentor of sorts and needing answers, uh, the party set out on this long journey, again, following this road. And they were seeking the help of uh, a group of druids that they had heard about from some of the locals. Hey, I just found a new bus station in my world. How fun is that?
Yeah, what?
But of course, on the way, and I didn't get a fancy icon for this. They discovered and were eerily compelled to this abandoned house. Um, then they had to figure.
Oh,
It's
I
Twin Peaks.
remember everything about this house. Yes.
And they had to find their way into the house, only to discover that there was no way to get back out of the house, which of course forced their hand into moving through it. Again, this was built back when you could do a lot of cooler stuff with moving things. For example, like might be hard to tell on stream, but it's tilted. Everything is tilted slightly and down forward. I just wanted to make it as uneasy as possible, but without the explanation for what was making you uneasy. For example, this is centered and this one isn't.
Interestingly enough, I am actually getting a low level of nausea from being in here.
Yeah.
I'm not making that up either.
Well, get ready Monday, because it only gets worse from here. If you'll recall,
I remember.
here we have a very special hallway. Let me through. In our haunted house, what haunted house is complete without a? They used to be a lot easier to get through here, without a good twisty hallway. And of course, this twisty hallway. See if Monday can make it through. I had a heck of a time too. It was much easier back in the past. This windy hallway led to their final battle. And it's much easier to tell in this room the pitch of the whole place. It's like a 5-degree angle. You used to be able to angle things off of ground clutter. It was awesome.
Yes.
So whatever angle the ground clutter was on, you could move it to.
There was also the trick with the original vehicle parts,
right.
the ones that don't connect to anything.
Yeah. But after defeating the enemy in here, they got their treasure. As you may notice, there's no exit. Prior to engaging in an adventure, all the adventurers put down beds and assign themselves to it. So if they do end up despawning, they'll be close by. The trick of this adventure was there was totems of return in here as part of the treasure, one for each party member. So they had to despawn themselves or respawn themselves, and they were teleported out to the front of the house, back into their beds, and it was all a dream. And that was that night's adventure. But here's the guts of the place.
That is so cool. I've literally never seen the outside like that before. That is so cool.
Yeah.
It literally looks like a skeleton in the landscape of a crazy monster.
And beyond that, it's camouflaged from a distance, so that at the time when you folks walked past on this road over here, it wouldn't immediately jump out as something important. And at certain angles, it completely disappears into it just becomes more background color noise.
Yeah, and even though we have flying on, we usually avoid flying unless you specifically tell.
Right.
Whoa, you can't even tell.
Yeah.
That's insane. That is so cool.
So, but then of course the back wall of the place is higher than the front wall, to give the illusion.
It's incredible how you're able to leverage that slight angle to really create like a real sense of tension in us. It's fucking excuse my language, I'm sorry. It's really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I do put a lot of thought into not just the technical aspect of my builds, but how they're going to present, I guess. And I've been an artist my whole life. I went to school for art. So using forced perspective and optical illusions and things like that, it, almost comes second nature. Um, so another fine example of that we have here at our Druid Enclave, which once again this is who we're here to see, Artemis. Um, but as you walk in, you're focused on that gate or maybe on that over there. So as you walk forward, you don't notice until you're about here that everywhere around you is, you know, if you're an enemy, they're enemies. But you are surrounded now by what in K&K are archers. And as far as anybody knew, they weren't here until we got, So they just popped out of nowhere. But
wow.
this is one of my favorite builds by far. This is the Great Tree and the Druid Enclave. Lots and lots of fun lore stuff we could get into here, but like I said, we've already been pushing the time limits to their breaking point. So, but yeah, this
The shrine is beautiful.
I can't. I'm so bad at parkour.
Oh, the tree! I
Sometimes.
forgot about this tree.
Hit. But yeah, you can just climb up this tree and come out up into the branches and stuff and things. But yeah, like I was saying, I wanted the whole world to kind of be a composite. I didn't want just little oh, okay, we're gonna go blow up this house, or you know what I mean, like disconnected again. All right.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm still in the world.
I'm not trying to
Should
get
I
in.
stay in?
Yeah,
I'm
if
not
you're,
in. It wasn't
if,
my fault this time.
if you're in, go ahead and stay in.
Okay, I'm just gonna land and pretty much stand here until you're
Yeah.
back in, and then we can proceed.
So that being the case with the world, like I was saying, I wanted things to be like a. Why do you keep wanting my feedback immediately after kicking me out? I'm gonna skip this because it's too much. Yeah, so tying back into the storyline, the druids there weren't always a walled community like that. And they also didn't all live together in one area. But since the world has become unpredictable and, with the monster attacks increasing and et cetera, with everyone looking for a place to find that's safe, they have walled themselves in. So again, another point of interest that ties back to, the story itself. All right.
I have a question related to K&K, to tonight's K&K game, actually.
All right. Oh, speaking of 822.
Could would it be okay if I play as Monday Olives tonight?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
That is 100% fine. The only time that wouldn't be necessarily okay is if like we were in the middle of an adventure. And,
Absolutely
you know
understand,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and somebody's already out in the world. I toyed around with the idea of horses for a while, but because of vehicles' unpredictable nature and the seat glitch, and then, having as many of us in here as there were, it became wildly unmanageable.
It was really cool for a minute, but it's
Yeah.
just the vehicles are kind of weird.
Yeah. But here's Lego Fortnite's first horse, everybody. Right there. That's the guy. But all right. Moving right along, the druids, because as we're discovering in K&K, like in the real world, history is written by the victor. The druids didn't have accurate information about local legends and things like that related to the artifacts, which is why the party first arrived there. And the information that they did gain was simply to the effect of to go speak to this oracle. So the party set out They were joined now by Genkoso, one of the rangers from the Druid facility, and they approached the altar of Mortho. This is a build that Haskins threw together for me. Hey, look, this is how we make angles. Um, but yeah, and they met the spirit of Mortho, who it was explained to them, could lead them to a great oracle. This is Mortho's Path, another point of interest built by Haskins. We were both super obsessed with these leany towers, so we just built a ton of them. My game crashes again, I swear to Jiminy Cricket. But of course, Mortho's Path leads to this totally, obviously an oracle's place and not some creepy mausoleum. The long and the short of all of this being, the party, through really no fault of their own.
No, just call it what it is. We never should have been here. This looks evil incarnate, and yet we were like, yeah, this is the right thing to do.
Yeah. This is obviously the goodest place I've ever been.
Which I will take a second to remind people that it is technically canonically accurate to say if we don't correct our past wrongs, I may potentially become Dark Olives and respawn many
It's
people.
true. Black olives.
Yes, that's perfect.
So the party ends up releasing Zarya the Brazen and Mortho the War Wizard, which are our adventures, two big bads, and they were quickly put down by said big bads. All of them except for Gen Koso, played by Remy Lexington. And luckily, Remy, being somewhat local to the world, knew the way to the closest major settlement and managed to transport them there to be respawned. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where things get laggy. Due to all the things that I mentioned before, the problems with the horses, this is where our many horses and variations of horses ended up being parked. We had different breeds and different, this was a war horse, and, some of them have more thrusters and some of them have more storage. And long story short, it was a great idea that didn't work out at all.
One time I played from my phone and I really did wrong on the war horses.
I can't imagine that went well at all. But here we find ourselves approaching the capital of the grasslands, Capitalis Pratum, which has ties back to the ancient times of Plewelia. For example, all of this darker stonework is from the old city, and any of the newer, like Lion's Knight Castle stuff, is old builds from the old city. This is just a farm. This is the bread box. It provides all the grain and produce and corn and whatnot for the city itself. And then up above we have, we call it the Heights.
Yes, I remember the Heights.
But it's actually the slums, still decorated for Christmas. Here we have some dirty snow all around.
Wait, can we visit Long Tim?
Yeah, he's up here in his little cruddy room underneath his tarp. Here by the stove with their one piece of coal.
Bless your heart. Have some cheese.
For those of you curious what we're talking about, we did a special, was it Christmas Eve?
I do believe it was, in
Yeah, it
fact,
was
Christmas Eve.
Christmas
Yeah.
Eve. Christmas Eve stream. Just Monday and I. Here we have the Royal Tomb, another POI that has yet to be explored. But below us we have, as I mentioned, Capitalis Pratum, the capital of the grasslands, the main population center of the grasslands in the current times. It is located in a very secure area, surrounded by tall cliffs on most sides, and from most angles, and then water on the other.
Entering this city is still absolutely insane after all this time. It's still just mind blowing.
Right. No, I get a kick out of it too. Up down below we have the city proper, and then up above is, of course, the royal district with the tomb and the castle itself. We'll swing by up there a second. But we have the fancy district up on the hill, and then the regular poor people live down here. As I'd
Where's
mentioned, go ahead.
Where's the Mages Guild?
Oh yeah, it's laying on the ground at the other end of town. As I'd mentioned, same with the Druids. This town is being overpopulated at the moment as well, because as people like search for a safe place. But yeah, this again, another place that was built before you could freely angle things or freely flip things. Most of this market is constructed by myself, completely from scratch. All the different food vendor items, stuff like that.
Oh, I love the sign usage. It's so cool with the corn and the meat.
Yeah, the little the toasted meats all in a row.
Yes.
But yeah, so just again trying to make some place more that had a vibe of something than was necessary. Like for example, these houses are empty. These little one. There's a light in here. That's it. But as you walk through town, it's adding to the whole of it. It becomes
And
a live place by not having, four really decorated buildings, but by, just the volume and the mass that it takes up. Because again, like I was saying, this was all before you could just freely angle stuff. And I believe there's 11 different angles in the city.
that's so impressive. And I'd add to that yes, some of these places are just empty and have a light bulb inside of them, and that's it. But at the same time, the potentiality for any of those locations to
Right.
become a memorable part of the story is incredible when you start introducing the characters of the world into that location. The
Yeah.
potentials are just endless.
Oh yeah. And that's something I wanted also to do, was have a place that felt finished but could also still have things happen in it. Um, for example, this place down here at the end, this is a big empty building. We could, if you guys had decided that you didn't want to be adventurers anymore and you wanted to be shopkeepers, we could have just come in here and boom, now you guys are shopkeepers. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. But beyond that, I wanted the
Oh,
place
look at that.
to be something that you guys also could mold as well. For example, this is the Wizards Guild that you had just asked about. During some of your adventures, we'll get to that part in a little bit. This got blown up in the world, and now here it lays. And of course I've trusted up with some fires, so it's smoking from afar, and things like that. But you know, I didn't want to make a world where you came in and it was like a museum and you couldn't touch anything. Like if you guys were playing D&D and had a stick of dynamite, you could throw it at anything. You know what I mean? So the same's kind of true here.
Yeah, we usually have to get your permission first, but absolutely,
Yeah.
there have been plenty of times you've asked us to throw dynamites places.
Yeah, and I'm pretty okay with you guys blowing up most things. Up here on the hill, we've got, just briefly, this is a church that my buddy Neva built. I did a little bit of modification on it just to K&Kify it. For example, the altar had to be, the Church of the Order of the First Llama. I made a little space out back for the groundskeeper to live. But aside from that, these minor modifications, all the rest of it was Neva's work. And this happens to be the location that you folks were brought to be respawned.
Yes.
After which, we met the very folks you were wondering about, the green guys.
Yes.
Unbeknownst to the players, there was 2 green guys. And after being respawned, they were, in order to become citizens of the capital, they had to take a self-defense course and run some self-defense routines with the green guys, Sarge and Mikey. And after which they became citizens of the capital. They were able to stay inside the walls, and et cetera, et cetera. Now they were free men in the city, or free people in the city, as it were.
I have a confession to make, if that's okay with you.
Uh-oh. What is it?
My favorite non-action orientated story plot is a Bide guy having to push the boulder up and down the hill because he just kept upsetting the green guy.
Yep, here's the boulders. You can't get them very far either. But all right, so the green guys got you folks all orientated. And around the same time, the Klombo update was coming out. And so rumors of the Klombo abounded in Playwellia. And at the time, one of the party members, Gracie, I'll never know how to pronounce her name. She won't tell me. Was a Klombonian. She worshipped the Klombos. So the party was searching for a way to get to Klombo Island. They needed to find a ship. Again, we have all these magical storms, which had recently destroyed, a large part of the city, and most of the ships in the harbor. But despite that, the best place to find a ship is going to be down to the docks.
Which is probably the coolest part of the city. I mean, my favorite character in the whole game is there. Unfortunately, we did respawn him. His name was Steve.
Poor Steve.
He was a mimic.
So, for those of you watching at home, you're going to get to see why my game keeps exploding as this all loads in. We can't use the bus stations in this area of the map because, yeah, the game just doesn't like it. It's just not a thing. Not a thing. But yeah, these are the Capitalis Pratum Docks. And it is where the party met 2 individuals. One, a very, very dapper businessman, a very seemingly shady and dapper businessman, and also a very nice pirate captain. One of them could send them on a mission to make a lot of money real fast. The other one, they were going to have to wait a week. And without missing a beat, they were like, we'll take the shady business deal.
Oh, I think it's worse than that. I don't even think we asked for that individual's name, if I remember correctly.
Correct. Yes, you didn't even ask his name. You were just like, "You've got something for us to do for money? We're on it." Um, and this is how we ended up um, with a mages guild that is laying on the ground. They were sent off to acquire a magical powder that is known for being explosive in the world. They brought back a wildly illegal amount of it, snuck it into the city through
Like
back
crazily.
yeah, through very backdoor and obvious means. Long story short, they got set up by the Tiger. They never got paid, and the Mages Guild got blown up after they uh, had already been seen smuggling the explosives into the world. So,
And impersonating the green guys.
correct. Yes, they also impersonated an officer on their way back into town. So summarily, now keep in mind, they didn't know any of this had happened yet because after they got back and had their shipment stolen, the pirate was like, "Hey, I can give you that ride I offered you a week ago." And they went off to the Pele Islands. Now, because we're already wildly behind, and also because flying over there and then flying back would be a huge, huge time sink, we're going to do things slightly out of order. While they were in the Peleban Anya Islands, where they met the Once-ler and the Peleban Anya and the Pele Fel'Offya, the Peelies and the Tomato Heads. They also managed to find the Klombo, which created a portal allowing Gracie to go home. So now we're down to just the main party of 5, who returned back to Capitalis Pratum, only to discover that they were framed for terrorism. All of their adventures up until that point had been listed as crimes against them because they apparently never applied for an adventuring permit, which none of them ever knew because no one ever mentioned it to them. The result of which was life imprisonment in the Rock Maximum Security Penitentiary, which is a prison I built, based obviously off of Alcatraz, which was nicknamed the Rock.
Which also, I'll chime in and say retrospectively, we really did not apply like morality to anything we did for a very long time because we definitely made a lot of shady choices at the beginning.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, yeah. And don't get me wrong, it's fun to stab things, in video games. But that's the fun thing about role playing is, sometimes that you can have actual consequences. There can be things that happen to you that you might not expect. Um, I gotta do this for Orion. There you go, Orion. I got you, buddy. But I won't spend a lot of time in here. Just a brief walkthrough, so people can get a grasp of some of the scope of the place. But the players spent 7 weeks of real life time in the prison and still hadn't managed to escape.
Not without the lack of trying though.
It is still decorated for Christmas here too.
Wow.
But while they were in the prison, everybody had jobs. Everybody had different things they needed to do, and in their cells, they came to discover that their toilets were not necessarily secured very well. which allowed them access to the sewers and a means of escape after they, throughout the rest of the prison in different areas, found the right tools, or excuse me, the right materials to make a tool to escape. Because this door, clearly labeled exit, was blocked by a granite board.
Which was kind of mind-boggling at the time. Or not mind-boggling, I'm sorry, but was kind of groundbreaking at the time because some, like, the new stuff had just come out.
Right. But yeah, here's all their workstations. Like I said, everybody had jobs. Some people worked in the kitchen, and they had to make stacks of cooked eggs and stacks of cooked meat, and you know, whatever the meal was for the day, whatever time of day, all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's the rock. This is my
There
little...
were some good NPCs here too, like the
Yeah.
warden's an absolutely despicable character, but so much fun to roleplay with.
Yeah. He was fun for me too. That was my best Foghorn Leghorn impression.
And we also learned a valuable rule here: never, ever, ever trust chocolate-covered pretzels.
That's right. And their bosom buddy through the whole place, their buddy who helped him out here and there, 17. He was
Yes.
one of the main leaders of the gangs inside. They took care of him.
And he was like so kind-hearted. I don't know what he did to get here, but I'm pretty sure he was framed because he definitely did not really belong here.
Yeah, I'm sure that, you know, he did something that, you know, somebody just like suckered him. You know, he wasn't smart enough to not do it, you know. But like I was saying, it took like 7 weeks for us to get out of here. And it got to the point where I could kind of tell the party was like, can we do something different now? So that's when we met the other heroes. Musa, Brock, Knox, and Spicy, hired specifically by Salvo Con Queso to break those folks out of jail, which they did in spectacular fashion by blowing the entire back end of my building off with cannon fire from a ship.
I believe, yeah, Brock got a little cannon crazy.
I forget. I can't remember. I think it was. Oh no, I only put 10 in because I had a feeling that was going to happen, and it did. But yeah, you folks managed to escape and make your way back to the Pele Bon Anya Islands. Monday, if you want to follow me back to this area, we can hop on
Absolutely.
a fast-moving steed for the next part of our trip. Yeah, I don't know how I thought this was only going to take an hour. That was crazy person talk. Are we even going to get to play K&K tonight?
At this rate, I have no idea. Maybe we should, as soon as we can, we should get Remy and Tron involved.
Yeah, for sure. We need to be significantly closer for that. What was that, Tron?
I said, take your time, guys. I'm enjoying this. I'm just grinding some resources on my expert world.
Yeah, I'm
Heck yeah.
enjoying too. I don't want to kill the flow if we try to come in and kick everyone out.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, for those of you
I
in
remember
chat,
this.
that's Remy Lexington and Tron Karam. We got our names up there on the screen. Make sure to check out their channels when you get a chance. But yes, we have here Prime Minister 2.0. If you want to hop on, we can get out of here.
Yep, sorry, 1 second. Okay.
The first stop is going to be... Oh,
Wait, is there another seat?
no, but I think standing on it, you should be all right.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
And I totally forgot.
This is wild.
For those of you in the chat, we started, this is the farm we started at right here, this marker. which I know is going to be super hard for you to see because my display is so small. And we followed it all the way around. This is where the Druid Enclave was. We come back around, and this is where the training grounds were. It's I think it's less than 200 meters from the
That's
capital
insane.
to the farm, from the center of town to the capital, or to the marker at the farm. But because we followed that whole road, and because the players never went that way, it felt like we traveled, like I was saying in my first world, it seemed like, days and months and, forever that I spent traveling. But in actuality, um, it's right around the corner. Um, from the top of the cliff, the training grounds are directly at the base of it. Um, so on the way to where we're going here, which eventually will be the Colombo Isles, um, the players, as we mentioned, were tasked with finding uh, that explosive powder, which in our world was called fire amber. Um, there was only one mine that produced it locally, the fire amber mines of Sweaty Sands out here in the desert. And as you'll notice below us, we're following another road because roads lead to adventure. That's what they say, right? Somebody must say that.
Yes. Also, I will point out at the time when we did this, it did not look this dark and blue. In fact, it was quite yellow. Do you know what I'm referring to? The obsidian and the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. No, sorry, you lost me with the blue part. I think the purple might have thrown me off. But at any rate, they came to pick these items up, which actually, for those of you playing at home, uh, the fire amber mines used lighting to make the amber glow, um, to give it that magical property. Now I wish I had made that video, but I never did. While the players were in prison, we had the Storm King update, which changed all of the amber into obsidian and vice versa. So now, to tie it back into the story, again, as things happen in the world, or in the game, somehow I have to tie them into the story. So this is further evidence of Zarya and Mortho's stealing the magic from the world. They've drained these crystals remotely somehow, and now they are dull and lifeless. But upon arriving at the Fire Amber Mines, which seemed like a simple enough fetch quest, travel out to the desert, pick some stuff up, they discovered there were other folks interested in the mines as well. Minions of Zarya and Mortho, a group of frat boys. Uh, you can tell they're frat boys from their togas. Um, Came to assault the mines and take the amber for themselves. And once again, in my highly destructible world, Syria popped in to help produce these giants. Initially, she put them in as statues, and I decided that they really needed to do a little bit more. So part of the game was, um, oh, this guy's gonna do nothing. Am I frozen? Nope, not frozen. I might have popped all his balloons.
Oh yeah, so the updates could have also messed with it.
Yeah, he might just be fused to the ground.
But I will
All
say,
right. So, anyways, there's balloons inside these folks, or there were, that allowed me to move them around. You can see some of the exposed bits here. And the players got to attack them with boom barrels and bowcasters, and different explosive weapons. Um,
I I have to add too, it doesn't really do it justice because you have to realize when this happened, we're literally all like standing on a tower up over here. I think where the around where the marker is, and Long Tom is literally explaining like he's like dropping hints like you can hear these loud noises, you can blah 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 blah, you can kind of see things in the distance and blah 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 blah. And you're like, no, it couldn't possibly be. Like, how is he gonna do this? There's no way it could be giants. And then lo and behold, in our field of view in the game, you just see these silhouettes, and it was nighttime. I remember this like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
You just see these giant figures slowly approaching. It was absolutely mind-blowing. I have never seen anything like that in Lego Fortnite up to that point.
Yeah, Syria had done such a good job with them. You know what I mean? Like, all of them. But like, never mind the fact that they moved. But I remember, like, just like you're saying, it was nighttime. It was like almost like foggy, and they were all positioned like, you know, a group photo. And I know none of you expected them to come at you. I know that there was little to no expectation because everyone's reactions were so awesome, you know, just so pure, you know. But since then, I've come through and replaced all their eyes with X's because they're all quite Mr. Build down here. But yeah, we will continue on in our adventure. So that's been one of the most exciting and interesting things about doing Caverns and Klombos, for me anyways, is in D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, you can just say, there's a dragon. And that's it, there's a dragon, you know? And you can say, the town is on fire. And that's it, the town's on fire. Naturally, it's a little more complicated here in Caverns and Klombos. Did that place a marker? Okay. So to come up with flora and fauna and, you know, enemies for them that aren't just your typical oh geez, it's behind me, that's why I can't find it, that aren't your typical, oh, I'm gonna throw a wolf, oh, I'm gonna throw a brute, you know, you know, what have you, has been really fun. Because, like I was saying, variety is one of the best things about D&D. You know, you can fight this guy this day, you can fight that guy the next day, and, you know, there's an actual difference, you know.
And
Whereas,
I think we kind of befriended the last of the frat giants,
that's right.
if I remember correctly. And
Yep.
that's just like crazy to think about. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, the lowest man on the totem of the frat boys, their pledge, showed up late to the fight, and he didn't really want to fight anyways, so it was all right. And now he just lives there in the desert, drinking out of that giant stein, which is full of slurp. If anyone was curious. Man, almost 9 o'clock. The irony being, also, I was like, oh yeah, we can just quick tour around. Like, it's gonna take half that time just to get where we're going. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of
Yeah.
crazy mental gymnastics did I do to think this was gonna take an hour?
Yeah, I also had some crazy mental gymnastics going on too. Like, I chose the wrong system to set my stream up on. I didn't really plan it out very well. I know things have been crazy, so whatever, but still, I totally relate and it's valid.
Yeah. And you know, if there's anything my channel's known for, it's being authentic, and I'm authentically don't know what I'm doing. So it's I told you earlier I was trying to add like music, like copyright free music, and that was just I was doing, you know, browser sources and different things, and it was just, it's not worth it, not worth risking the copyright strike, you know.
Yeah, I'm working on a solution myself, but it's a massive amount of work. But long story short, I'm gonna take a bunch of the lo-fi I've created and like actually go through DistroKid and put it out there and then claim it on YouTube freehand. And then that way I can like release it and let people use it on YouTube without them getting copyright strike. But it is an absolute nightmare to like have to consider like terms of use and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah. And what I've been experiencing is you'll find an artist that you like and they had a deal with some, you know, music sharing thing. But now that was 3 years ago and they've got a new deal with a new place. So even though I got the song directly from someone that they gave the license to, it's either invalid now or the new place has it. So even though I got it from the program that I'm using, like from their library, like I didn't go download it somewhere else. It's from inside the program. I got copyright struck. Like,
yeah, actually, interesting story. I have a SoundCloud under Monday Olives, and I made a lo-fi track. I can't remember this in exact one. I think it's called the My Dolphins one. But anyway, I tried to use it in one of my streams, and I got copyright strike. And someone had taken that song and put it on their YouTube and claimed it as their own. And it's like, crazy. Yo, I literally made this song. Like, what is going on right now?
That's why I started making my own music so I wouldn't get copyright strike.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying, Tron. Like, I literally made my own song, and someone had posted it on their YouTube as their own work.
Oh, I know, it's ridiculous.
I just recently got dinged because I've been using like sound effects now on my stream, and it's an air raid sound and some I think some song by Biggie Smalls starts off with an air raid, and I guess that's where they clipped it from. So I got dinged with that copyright, which I'm actually like fighting now because I don't think.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You know, just push back on it. It doesn't say like it matters. It says like, oh, no impact. But I'm like, it's the point of it.
Right. But
no one's getting that air raid
in the future. Like if you ever get monetized, you won't be able to make money off of that because you used a sound effect. That's goofy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love YouTube, but I just feel like there's a long way to go before their copyright issues are good.
I think a lot of the issue, is the automated things now. You know, they're just like, oh, hey, AI, look at this for me and make a decision. For example, like my creative map that I put out, I have used the same thumbnail every single time that I've submitted it. And I'm up to version 14 or something at this point. And every third or fourth time they'll come back and be like, you need a different thumbnail that's an accurate representation of your, you know. And I'm like, listen, AI. Can you spot the difference between these two pictures? Because I cannot. You know.
That's a good point. YouTube's AI that checks things should have to run through its own type of are you a human check.
Yeah. Fact check yourself, AI.
I remember one time I drew a picture and had it on I used it on Society 6 as like, you know, I was gonna sell it, sell it. It was my own drawing. I just put like Destiny inspired bounty hunter, and it was just like a soldier guy with a gun and like a robotic looking uniform, and it got freaking copyright dinged, and I fought it and it still got beat down. I was like, are you effing kidding me? Like just
That's
because crazy. And I think it was during I forget it wasn't Bungie, it was their publishing company. Was it I forget what that was, Activision or something, but they were going hard on like I guess copyright stuff everywhere, and so just because like I hashtagged it Destiny, I got screwed. I'm like, ridiculous.
That's crazy. But all right, we are almost back to the tour location again. So keep in mind, folks in chat, like I said, there is so much in this world. We're only going to a couple more places before this tour wraps up, but keep in mind the number of locations on this map. None of these flags or markers are for nothing. You know, it's not like we just were like, oh, this is a pretty tree. You know, no, there's stuff out there.
You should also point out the amount of untoured area. Oh, it's crazy. It's mind-blowing
I can't
how big the world is and how much bigger it actually is.
Yeah. Yep. All of that underneath there, the mottled coloration on the map there. That's all the rest of it still. Places that have never been seen. And then some places, like over here, I only went there because there was a storm. Or I was looking for a storm, rather. But, alright. Where are we? Oh, we are at Anchor Downs, which is the closest port to the mainland in K&K. And if you'll excuse me, I will be right back. And Monday, you can tell him all about the Dread Pirate Ricky Ricardo while I'm gone.
Oh, well, interesting thing about the Dread Pirate is I believe at one point we definitely insulted the Dread Pirate. And were they the ones who invaded our dream? Is that correct, Tron and Remy?
That is correct.
And they made us question reality. I think for many streams after that, there would be at least one point where one of us would be like, are we dreaming right now? What's going on? But anyway, I'm forgetting the exact parts of the story.
Put on a
But
pay-per-view, like,
oh, go
Smash.
ahead. Yes, please.
So we put on a pay-per-view Smash Brothers where we each had to fight, and based off of who we picked to fight, either their fight was going to be easier or harder. The longer you waited to fight, the harder your fight was going to be. So we had to win to free our souls or something like that, and it wound up just being a dream.
Alright, what'd I miss?
And there was so many of them that we had to take down. And I remember, like, at one point, like, I remember my first fight, I did really, really, really unexpectedly well. And then I believe after that, I did absolutely horrible. But I don't remember the exacts. I know, didn't you, like, straight up respawn a bunch of people?
I respawned a bunch of them, but I ultimately lost because levitation basically wore off.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Let's see. Alright, so as we came to the Colombo Islands, our characters, as I mentioned earlier, they met the Once-ler and also the Tomato Heads and the Peles. The Peles, again, due to, you know, all the events going on in the world and more bad people showing up all the time to different places, sealed themselves off from the world as well. And in order for the party to gain their trust, they were asked to retrieve some sacred artifacts from a place described as a pirate city. And they needed to retrieve some religious artifacts from there. The party, again, unpredictably, decided to not use words, but use weapons. Assaulted the snot out of a place called Cutlass Cove, which we'll see in a little bit, and then returned back and exchanged the things. It's after this point that, you know, Gracie's mission is completed. She meets the Colombos, gets teleported back home.
That was so sad.
Yeah, and the Colom lady.
Oh, and the accents were so good.
Thank you. So they've gone, been arrested at the Rock, and now come back. And it comes to their attention that there is a ghost ship that prowls the seas of the of Plewelia, called the Grimkeel. And the Grimkeel ferries the spirits of the despawned back to spawn. And it is piloted by a pirate known as the Dread Pirate Ricardo Roberts, or Ricky Bobby for short. One of the things that the Dread Pirate does is if pirates or seamen's lives were lost without good cause, he'll seek revenge for them. And in this particular instance, revenge was found in the form of... Hey, didn't I used to have a unicorn? There it is.
Yeah.
What a fun sentence. Didn't I used to have a unicorn? Um, so as I believe they were mentioning, as I was coming back, uh, you can do it Monday. uh, they were captured, in a sense, by the Dread Pirate themselves. And in order to enact revenge for these 100 lost souls of the pirates of Cutlass Cove, he brought them to a place called Anchor Fell. Now, the place we just left was Anchor Downs, not to be confused with the bottom of the ocean location where the Dread Pirate seeks revenge against enemies of of pirates. But the main thing of this, the party is dragged down. We do a lot of, obviously, dream sequence type stuff, because it's an easy excuse for magic. But the innkeeper where they were staying knew that the Dread Pirate would be looking for them on the water, so convinced them to stay. However, earlier in the day, they had lit a bunch of black candles around a boat on a beach, which is apparently also how you summon the Dread Pirate to you. So he entered their dreams, kidnapped them all, which it's still up for debate whether it was real or not, because they woke up in their beds, but they woke up soaking wet with, seawater. So, who knows? It's, maybe somebody threw a bucket of water on them while they were sleeping. The world may never know, but we will stream.
This is so cool looking.
So our players fell from the sky and landed here. Each of them had their very own despawn box. And they were led by the announcer. I'll pull him up real quick. Jack O'Sassin. To this green room. This very lovely green room. It's very inviting and totally safe. Oh no, green room. Where they, in turn, were forced to do combat with a bunch of skeletons. Now, outside of here, all the other souls of the lost watched on. I had a bunch of, just like actual skeleton AI out there as well. So they were like dancing around and like throwing stuff at the cage. And from the player's perspective, this is just a, kind of Thunderdome-ish, like, battle cage. There's a bunch of junk in here, and there's a healing plant that respawns, and sitting over there on Doom's throne was Ricardo Roberts himself. What the players were not aware of is that this was all happening live on pay-per-view. This is, in the end, this is a live pay-per-view event at Anchor Fell Arena at the Blunderdome. Here is the titular anchor itself. But the entire apparatus is a giant TV box being held by a giant skeleton. And yeah, they ended up another situation where they fought, undefeatable odds were defeated. The giant skeleton in our imaginations reached into the cage and threw them deep into the ocean. This blue line is Play Willie's equator. That's where the Blunderdome exists. This is just not letting me fly up. I don't know what's going on.
Also, I discovered one of my backpacks.
Right. I bet you it probably has legacy charms on it and stuff.
I don't think I want to touch it though. I think I want to leave it
Right.
as like
That's fair.
I like the fact that there's backpacks spread throughout the world, and
Yeah.
so they don't really like say who they belong to unless it's yours, in which case it says it's like your backpack.
Right.
But other than that, they don't say who they belong to, but they're kind of cool because they're like artifacts of past players.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I like it's fun just seeing places that we've been.
Yes, yeah. There's definitely been a couple questionable bags along the way too, where it's like, whoa, why is there a backpack right there?
But yeah, this is the Blunder Dome at Anchorfell. And yeah, let's get back into this. The Dread Pirate is not the only person and/or thing to be concerned about on the high seas Playwelly.
Oh, there's many people and things.
That is correct. For example, after the rescue from the Rock Maximum Security Penitentiary, on Conqueso's ship, which we will see shortly, I didn't feel like flying it all the way over to where we were. And I don't know why I didn't bring my unicorn right now. Hey, I have a unicorn around here somewhere, don't I?
I think it's long gone now.
Yeah,
Unless there's a second, unless you have the second one, because there is a second one, I believe.
Yeah. No, he's all the way over there too. But who runs Barter Town, says that zebra. Master Blaster. In addition to the Dread Pirate, there be monsters here.
Ha, Brock's got away dinner.
Here he is. The serpent that got
This thing
away.
is so cool. This thing is so cool. Oh my god.
Honestly, my favorite part of that whole episode was Abide Guy shooting him in the mouth. With Abide Guy shot himself out of a cannon at this thing, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I was like, go ahead. And it had many much carpet lining the inside, so from my angle, it looked like it had just exploded, and then I came around, and he was still intact, and I was very, very pleased. But who cut off the tongue? Was that you, Monday?
I honestly don't remember.
But
I just remember being freaked out because like it literally goes underwater just like you're doing now.
yep, this is this thing's claim to fame. Not only is it fully pilotable, but it can sneak up on you underneath the water, then bloop.
And if it's dark, like if it's nighttime, it looks incredible. It is like literally chill-inducing terrifying.
Let me see if I can find a switch. Here's a switch.
For the record, after the other creature that you invented, that only became the lunch.
Right.
The dinner's the other one.
That's right.
Oh, the articulated one? Oh my god, that one's insane.
All right, that is the sea serpent, which will bring us, realistically now, we are pretty much home. If we want to go right over here, Monday, I think I can steal us another vehicle.
Yes.
This...
I'm excited to see which one it is.
Thank you. Hey, Generonimus, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Sorry, chat, for the lack of attention I've been paying you. It is not personal. I just, part of me feels like I'm behind because I was like, I'm going to do an hour stream, and we're running right up at 3.
I also apologize. I was in the chat earlier, but I'm having some system errors, so I had to take out my second screen. So I apologize, guys.
Totally fine. All right. Ready?
Oh, I love this thing. This is so cool.
We're just gonna run right at the Pele Bananya Island. Hey, do you want to do the thing where you turn? What is going on? It did not
Oh,
turn.
at least the vehicle
did not
didn't
turn.
explode when it hit the side of the mountain.
Right.
That's honestly like the only thing I hate about vehicles right now is they just tend to explode when you hit trees and stuff now.
Yeah, they are definitely significantly weaker than they were. Come on, buddy, just a little bit further. Hit! 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 We did it! Success! Limited success!
Amazing!
So now...
Oh, I just got an idea.
We're coming up on the Pele Bananya Nature Preserve. This is where the Pele Bananya, retreated to when the world went bad. These are their main gates here. Ugh, have some. In some places in my world, this broken glass is broken glass, and in other places in my world, it's emeralds. And in this is one of the situations that it is emeralds. But these are the great gates. Our players, not knowing much of the Pele, knew that they needed to find some way in, and Conqueso, our captain, had the bright idea to, after hearing some of their stories about where the players were from, some of their legends, decided that the best idea was to create a Trojan banana, which they used successfully to breach the walls. And it's actually up here a little ways. Man, part of me feels like this whole thing would go quicker if the game would stop freezing. It's pretty interesting that makes it turn the opposite direction.
I remember this area so well. Like it was only a few weeks ago that we were kicked out of here.
That's true. And here, I'm just gonna get rid of this thing. This is obnoxious. Get out of here. We have the Pele Bananya Nature Preserve proper. To enter the Nature Preserve, you have to pass under this banana doing a split, which is a visual joke that no one ever gets unless I point it out. And inside we have, of course, all the Pele. This is, again, just a place, you know, to mark a location. Some of it is custom, some, you know, but mostly it is conjoined prefabs, as I like to call them. Here we have the Trojan banana. The original design came on wheels. It was designed by Syria, and it was a delight to behold. This new one just
and there's an
lives
interior
on
as well.
balloons.
We could actually go inside of there.
Right. Ooh, wrong end. You go on the bottom of the banana. Yeah, there used to be a full interior. When they changed a bunch of things recently, it all fell and broke on the ground. Some of it might still even be on here, actually. I think this may just be stuck in the ground here. Let's find out.
Oh, epic! That's amazing.
Yeah, it was just missing some pieces. Don't worry, it was all just sunk in the ground. It's fine. All right. But the Pele Bananya Nature Preserve.
Oh, Oh, hey, this is familiar. I'll take that.
What'd you get? Anything good?
I took one of my staffs.
Ah,
My emerald, or not emerald, sapphire spear.
random. So the nature preserve is home to many, many creatures, some of which we'll see a little farther on in the tour. But the main attraction, of course, is the Clom Lady, the Mama Clombo. Got some custom decoration, and then
Oh, this is still so cool.
this is the Mama Clombo that sent Gracie back to her world. But the other crazy creature that lives here uh, is shockingly not this reindeer, and shockingly not the original Prime Minister, but the Once-ler, who, for those of you who are Dr. Seuss fans, is the name of the guy who lived up in the tower at the end of town, and he knew the story of the Lorax. The Once-ler lives here in Playwelia as a new addition to the world, much like the players, and is chronicling the world and its history as he discovers it. He's sometimes helpful to the players, sometimes, oft-times, just as confused as the players.
And always trusted, never, absolutely ever does anyone question whether or not the Once-ler was behind certain things.
Right. He's never, no one ever doubts the Once-ler ever. But
Just like we all trusted Hayseed.
this is all, this is where Prime Minister lives. This is his little house. He eats that hay. He drinks this espresso. Prime Minister is addicted to espresso. But here, let's take a deer to the next parts. Phew. All right. So this is one of the deer that Syria and I made for our Christmas video that we never made. So funny. I remember you going higher. Anywho.
I do think some of the stuff that was for that did get showed on a stream, though.
Yes, this deer did make it onto a Christmas stream. It's true. But here at the
Oh, that's so cool.
far end of the, he really doesn't want to go up this hill, but I'm gonna make him.
I am inside the reindeer. Uh-oh, this is not good. I don't
I'll
know what to
rescue
do
you.
because
Just hang on, I'll
Okay.
rescue you. What you're gonna
Okay.
have to do is dive roll in the opposite direction that I'm driving in just a second. But first, I'm gonna show off the great banana and his articulated hands, holding his torch and his bananas. But yeah, this is the guardian of the village. He protects all the Peles from other stuff.
whoa, I am out.
You're welcome.
That was crazy. I was inside of that thing.
Let's see. I think we should probably do Cutlass Cove next, just for sense.
Yes. Cutlass Cove was a really fun place, and it's one of the few places that we actually went back to quite a few times.
Yep. Yeah, it's fun. Like you folks develop distaste for certain places, and then other places you've gone back to a couple times. Like for example, I can't wait to see what happens the next time you guys go back to the capital. You know what I mean? Like
Don't let Harry be there.
yeah, and beyond that, because you have to go through the capital to go anywhere else in the grasslands. You know, that means if you want to go to the Druid Enclave for something, you know, there's all kind of different spots that are now almost barred because you don't like the capital. You know what I mean? it's in. Oh, I'm going the wrong way again. I know how markers work, chat. I swear to God. I swear to
Yeah,
complexity.
I I personally am looking forward to the next like new place, but I'm not sure what that entails because A, it's you, so it could literally be anything. And then B, we don't know what Lego Fortnite is, what Epic's gonna put out, like, and we know
Right.
we're supposed to get some things soon, so
Right. And it, you know, that's been fun and frustrating for me doing Caverns and Kolombos is hey, Spicy's home. Um uh Adapting the things that they do week to week and, you know, update to update into the game somehow. You know, like I was saying, you know, when they added the storm sick enemies, well, that just happened to coincide with when Zarya and Martha had been released. You know, and when they
oh yeah.
changed, you know, certain things, you know, well, that was them sucking the energy out of the, you know, and man, take that, you rocks.
Oh wow. My mind is blown right now. How is that vehicle still
I don't
constructed?
know. I don't even know what's
I think
going
Rich
on
Update
anymore.
has
Yeah,
hardened.
like that the reindeer is literally winning against every physical object.
And I was stuck in one of them. That was pretty awesome. Get out of my way, rock. Yeah. When Syria
It's
builds a
like the
reindeer, she
reindeer
builds a
like
reindeer.
whoa, that's insane. That was just literally like oh wow, I'm just my mind is blown. Like I've just seen vehicles that just break apart the second you touch a tree.
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, the game likes me for some reason. I don't know why. But here we are in the pirate uh, city of Cutlass Cove. Here's what remains of the docks after the players' uh, incursion. I guess would be the only way really to describe it. This was fun.
Yeah, we kind of messed up here a bunch of times actually.
Yeah, but that even that makes it fun too. But one of my favorite features of this, if you see those cannons on the roof over there, Monday, see how they're moving,
Oh yes. Oh, that's
and
incredible.
then I can be like, pew. Oops, wrong
That's
wrong button.
insanely
Pew.
incredible.
And I'm gonna aim over here, and I can be like, pew. Um, there were
Wow.
two other ones around town. One here, which does not work anymore because I'm pretty sure its swivel is broken. I'm gonna go ahead and guess since it's leaning and does not turn. And then the other one was down
Wow.
on the dock. So while you folks were sailing the ship back and forth, shooting the dock, and also shooting those cannons, I was, you know, making sure to take wide angle shots, but taking
Yeah.
shots at you folks at the same time.
Okay, so what is the coolest part of this camp? I will tell you, even though I asked the question. If oh, where is it? Oh, it's right here. Yes, yes. This telephone over here.
Yeah, the complaints department for the
The
Daily
complaint
Blunderbuss.
department.
Oh,
Yes.
what is going
It,
on? Eh, draw in. There we go.
My complaints. He smashed it.
The Daily Blunderbuss.
oh my god. That is what?
Yeah.
It's so different because I've never really like actively flown in this area. So seeing it from like a flying perspective is so cool.
Yeah. All of them are angled up right now, but they used to aim right at that X.
Yeah,
That was
you
the complaints
merch.
department.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have all our standard facilities. We've got the Durburger Magic and Potion Shop. This one is obviously a pirate version, as it has the skull and crossbones on the sign. Lots of things got blown up in here. Um, had some fun traps set up for you folks. This one would break the stairs, causing the person to fall down into this hole, which of course is the home, the final resting place. This is what Remy fell into, as
Yes,
Mesa.
this trap definitely triggered a serious sense of self-preservation in a lot of accompanied sessions forward, moving forward sessions.
That's
like
been
people would
thing.
just be like, "Is there a trap here?"
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things now is you folks have figured out the visual cues for where there's a trap, so now I can trick you and put
Yes.
no traps there. Watching you folks move through one section of that cave in the vaults, and
Yeah.
you're jumping over every piece of floor that is stacked 2 or higher. Oh, I laughed so hard when I watched that stream back.
Yeah.
But oh, that's right. It is Spicy's birthday. Thank you for reminding me, Haskins. Everybody wish Spicy a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Spicy. That's
I
incredible.
believe he said he was 41 today, if I recall. But here we have
Wow.
more custom decorations on the sculptures of the Klombos. We got our Chiquita banana style headdresses for him.
Hey, Remy, are you here? Can I ask you a personal question? How old are
Sure.
you, or around what age are you?
I'm 41. Gonna be 42 April 15th.
Whoa! This is awesome. I consider myself to be like old, and I feel old, but I'm definitely the youngest one here, and it's awesome.
Oh,
That's right.
Thanks for bringing that up, Monday. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Well, I mean, Harry Spellfield is literally like what, 150? I mean, come on.
Your original characters actually could be any age because they're from the loop. They could be hundreds of years old.
Oh, that's
Depends on how
true.
long they've been in the loop. But all right, let's. I'm going to skip the first cave, go to the second cave. We'll do the third cave, and then we should probably try and wrap this up sometimes.
For anyone wondering, I'm 37.
Right on. That's honestly older than I thought you were, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm 37.
Yeah, I'm terrible at calendar math. I can't save my life.
I think the crazy thing is if we were on different planets, like if we were on like I think like Saturn or something, we wouldn't even be 1 year old yet.
Right?
Oh,
That's crazy.
wow.
We'd be like
Mind
1 year
blown.
old.
Do what I do instead now. I celebrate anniversaries of my 39th birthday.
I love that.
So as the players have been gallivanting about in the Pele Ban Anya, the nearby faraway islands, which is a whole story that you can get some other time, they have discovered that the Tomato Heads essentially had an advanced ancient civilization that spread over most of the island until you can't see it on my map because we're in a cave. A major explosion ripped the island in half and pretty much set the island back to the Stone Age. But there are ancient vaults left over from those times, hidden throughout the world. This is one of them. I thought this was the one with the axe trap. My bad.
Did we ever figure out what the recent update that said player-made structures will reset? What's it that was all about?
It's got to be talking about the Storm King because that's the only like dungeon that resets. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
that's a
think of
good
another one.
point. Yeah.
But yeah, so all of these interconnected vaults eventually leading to the final vault where they met the web designer.
Which was incredible. That was another moment where you absolutely threw us in the loop for a loop and was mind-blowing. there's so many points. You have to understand from the player's perspective of this game. There have consistently been moments where it's like, oh, there's no way that Long Tom can top what happened this time. And then you're literally living the moment and you're like, oh my God, is this real life? Is this really happening? This is insanely insane.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and that's something too. In the early days of K&K, I actually had people who thought that what we were doing was scripted, that the players knew ahead of time, or what was going to happen. And no, they have no idea. I have a loose outline of where I want the story to go, and how we get there is completely, well, not completely, but for the most part, out of my hands. The players all have free will. They can say or do anything they want. It's a pretty wild time.
Yeah.
For example, look at this innocuous staircase. Except it's got a strange pattern in the middle. There's obviously a trap there, right? No, there's not. But through the course of the game, I've come up with little visual cues to let them know, different things, like I was mentioning.
Why is this screen in here set to Bananas Gone Wild?
But ching. Running joke.
I thought I logged out.
Yeah. Muse's character, anytime he finds a computer, logs into Bananas Gone Wild and only bananas. But
until recently, Knox didn't think banana people could be handsome.
Come to find out, there's entire websites devoted to it. The other fun thing about these caves is they were all sealed. The players actually opened these caves. So everything that was built past this point in all 3 of the vaults, which that honestly, if you guys check out those episodes, they're some of my favorite episodes we've done. They had to put the materials into these things to get the big rock to go away, and I went in around the physics of the game and built things back there for them to find. Man, I really thought this was the axe one, but I forgot that this was the one where I tricked you into thinking there was traps when there wasn't. But yeah, lots of different, activated traps, using thrusters and balloons, that kind of thing, to break away floors and what have you. See if it'll let me leave this cave. Whoa, okay. Something crazy just happened to my screen. I was like in the Stranger Things universe for a second. Alright.
Okay, so are we actually ready to start playing the game?
Well, let's see, what time is it? I mean, we're almost honestly at the time when we would normally end K&K, so it's entirely up to you guys.
No, I would honestly, I was like hoping we could like just do like something where we like, okay, it's time to start, and then I was gonna chime in and be like, okay, it's 10 o'clock, time to do the outro.
That would be funny. Let's see. Here, let's run through the spider vault. We'll just do it quick.
Oh yes, we got to see the giant actual web. That thing is so cool.
And then let's see. After the vaults, I think really that's it. There's only one thing left to see. And then, like I was saying, we would be almost to the time when we normally end. I'm down to do something even quick if you guys wanted. But this vault in particular is the web designer's lair. And as it was presented to the players, naturally, having to do with computers. But as we got deeper and deeper into the world, we discovered it had just as much to do with spiders. Speaking of traps and having trained them to act in certain ways in certain situations, normally when you enter a room, you check for traps. I had not told them that maybe it was not a good idea to check the exit as well. So this trap right here activates that balloon, which breaks a floor. And I had come in, flew down here quickly beforehand, and threw as many spiders as would fit in that box into the box. So when they came through, it just rained spiders. It's actually one of my favorite traps to date. Followed by another one of these activation apparatuses to get through the wall here. Another giant web. All kinds of broken stuff. Because part of the lore of this place was that it was in a much greater state of disrepair than the other spot. I made this giant wall down the middle to potentially separate the party, which worked briefly. A little spot over here, sad story of a couple lab assistants who never made it out after the web designer lost their mind.
Yeah, which we
Yeah,
have recorded history of
Right?
in the form of their journal. Was pretty disturbing, actually.
That's right. We are not secure. This whole cave was riddled with different traps and pitfalls. This one released all these boulders.
Was this the one where the thing landed perfectly on Brock's head too?
That was this right here, and I believe this pillar fell and clocked Brock pretty straight on.
That was so epic. It looked so cool.
Boulder
Probably the
drop,
one who would be able to survive it too.
right? And then the piece de resistance. What is going on with the floor? Boy, I really wish I could show this off without but here, once again, we'll throw this guy up on screen. We'll try and give him a place of honor up here in the middle of the web. He would hang out here, do the Iron Spider emote, while the players took pot shots at him and tried to defeat him. And then eventually it devolved into just ridiculous, like PvP combat. But we try to play by the rules sometimes. And here in the back, obviously his lair. But all of these vaults, the two that we just saw and the one that we're not going to see, all tie the world together. It's finding out a lot of the history of the world, and also revealed that there may be a time when the Pele and the Tomato Heads work together, or we're friends of some kind, which is the opposite tale that we've been told the whole time. But there are a significant things going on in Playwellia. Every week we find out a little bit more, and most recently, due to their involvement in the release of ancient evils and etc. Our friends, the new heroes and the old heroes. Oops, I'm going to your marker and not mine. We're asked to leave the Pele Anya Nature Preserve, and have set out and discovered a bastion of their own, which is where we are headed with just one last pit stop. I think, yeah. there's the landing pad. See if he shoots into the sky as I get close. Because that happens sometimes. It's really scary. This is an inopportune time to freeze. Our Shadow Dragon. It uses the walking mechanics designed by Bakaneko. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. For his Mecha Godzilla. And I am not going to take out the blocks. If you guys want to see him in action, I have videos on my channel, and you can also check out the other streams. Because every time you take his legs braces off and log out and log back in, you have to rebuild its legs in their entirety from scratch. I seem to be frozen to the ground. How very interesting. Let's see if we can
Pop
change
balloons and
that.
reinstall them.
Never. That would take way too long. He doesn't need a landing pad. I wonder at what point he fused to this, because that's pretty fun. That's another fun thing. You can kind of, as you can see, some of these legs aren't exactly straight compared to other ones. You can just like wedge them in, make them work to re-brace it if you're gonna take the time, but that's also a pain in the butt. If this doesn't work, it will just stay where it is. No!
I'm not even convinced that it's actually connected to the ground. I think it's literally just glitching out because of the server.
Probably. Oh, I forgot that seat was centered. My bad. Bye. It was just
perfect.
It was just the chair as usual.
That's incredible. Unfortunately, I believe I was sick and had to leave this episode early.
That is true. Yeah, I believe. Yeah. Was it this one? It might have been this one. Because I know at the end it was just Tron and I who hung out and flew the dragon.
It was.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, this is a thing I did. And if any of you have seen the Back and Echo video, it definitely walks. If you've seen my video, you can see evidence of it doing such.
It's incredible. The first time I saw the video, my mind was absolutely blown.
I appreciate that. But that brings us all the way back around the island, back to where we picked up that little baby dragon. No relation to the Shadow Dragon. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry I wasn't able to make it tonight. Family stuff. It was your birthday, man. That's totally fine. And as you can see, we kind of goofed it up ourselves. Monday, how did we think this was going to take an hour?
I have no idea. We talked about it quite a bit, but we didn't actually really do good at the planning
Hey,
stages.
can you do me a favor and get rid of that marker?
Oh, yeah.
Because I keep flying to it instead of mine.
I'm not sure it's my marker. It won't let me get rid of it.
Try placing your marker elsewhere.
I literally can't. My mouse, the middle thingy doesn't work. Hold on 1 second because I might have it
How
assigned.
bizarre.
Ah, I had it assigned to a different key and I must have accidentally hit the key. My
Right on.
apologies. It was my fault all along.
Hey, pilot error. It's a killer. It happens to us all though, so don't worry too much about it. I just, I can't be bothered to look if I'm going north or not, you know what I mean? I just see a marker, I start flying. That's
Yeah, I have no. So I'm actually dyslexic or lesdixic, as I like to say, and I have no concept of direction whatsoever. And it's incredibly funny that there's a compass above us because even when I try to use it, I usually end up flipping things and going the wrong way.
Oh yeah. And my HUD is practically invisible on my screen right now. I think I've got it like 40% or something. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can see the letters sometimes if there's no markers, but if I have any markers at all, which I got a lot of markers, it's hard to read. So,
But yeah, I definitely prefer to set the actual the markers in the game myself. That makes it easier.
yeah, yeah. And here we are. We are back at the currently under construction and yet unnamed bastion of those heroes that are left. Let's see, there they are. Genkoso, Monday, and Harry Spellfail. After leaving the prison, no one's sure. We thought Abide and Rooster were still with us, but no one's seen them. There's only rumors of them, so we just have these three folks, and then we have, where are they? Oink. Musa, Brock, Knox, and Spicy. And if you joined us the last few episodes, they've been decorating their places in their own styles. This is Spicy's place over here. Beautiful location where he was ambushed all by himself last episode. The other players did eventually come to his rescue. But I've been doing a little bit of decoration just to make the place feel a little more runes as opposed to just, like I said to the players last time, more like just parkouring to a rune. Because this is supposed to be the once base of operations of one of the old heroes who took down the darkness the first time. Hey, I forgot about that guy who ran away last time. But each player's been fleshing out their own areas. We've got, oh, I didn't even get to see your second floor yet, Remy. Ooh, this is cool. So each area obviously being decorated to the character of their character. So this is Genkoso, their ranger. But then down below, this is where their Pele character lives, Musa. Similar themes, but
Oh, I love the difference, the subtle differences.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
awesome.
It's all, yeah. I was just gonna say that very similar themes, but very stark contrast and subtle difference between the two. It's awesome.
And I got the roof to kind of fit too. It's a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
tricky at first.
yeah. It looks good.
Thank you.
And then, oh, what happened to your giant banana?
I had
Well,
this.
I put the banana on there for shock value when
Right.
in reality the main goal was to mess around with like storm window protection type of thingies like because as you can see it's blocking one of the
Oh, you made
entrances.
a gate. That's awesome.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Heck yeah.
And that's just like the test of it. I
Right.
also want to do a little more with my actual tower
Yeah.
space,
Yeah,
but for
yeah.
now I'm pretty much digging what's there
Oh yeah.
and what
No,
I did so
absolutely.
far.
And then Brock the Barbarian has, of course, his own style. It's kind of like Skyrim meets the Predator's trophy room.
Oh yeah.
So,
It's
um,
statues of things he's eaten so far.
yeah, right. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the points of interest and locations that we've seen so far in Caverns and Kolombos.
One left
I
under
think we missed a
construction, too.
couple, but I think that's most of everything.
Yeah, we skipped a vault for certain. Which ones were you thinking of?
It's really only because of the Christmas special, the area that I built.
Oh
Yeah,
shoot!
which no, it's not.
Right.
No, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Um,
We literally
it
already
is a
spent a
big
special
deal.
going through that area.
Everybody
The
go
Harry's
watch
restaurant.
our Christmas special and see entire city that Monday built themselves, which in Caverns and Colombos is the place that Monday's original character grew up in. And it's not on this planet even. It's not in this universe. It exists somewhere else. Um, so I couldn't have given a tour of it Monday. It's not a it's in a
Exactly.
completely different dimension.
This was all scripted and planned right from the start.
Exactly. Exactly. Here we have the Conquistador, Salvo Conqueso ship. Now the player ship. They use this to travel from location to location and blow the snot out of them. They're big fans of blowing the snots out of points of interest with this ship. And this is Romer's Farm, and its newest dining hotspot, Harry's, uh, was it Tiki Bar and Grill?
Yep.
Yeah. This, in addition to their bastion, are areas that, with their gold and things that they, uh, you know, acquire on their missions, can fix up, and attract followers and, do different things like that.
Yeah, I was
Um,
just gonna say, I believe we can attract followers now,
that's
and I
right.
believe we can have them like cheap and permanent.
That's right. Yep.
Monday and Knox definitely, especially Knox, has some plans.
Right. um, so all right, we are now back at uh HQ, Remy and Trone. I don't know, for those of you who were with us earlier, the Caverns and Colombo world is so spaced out and so dense at the same time. Bus stations don't work anymore for traveling long distances. Like we can bus station like from here to the Pele village, but any farther than that is pretty much a no-go. Um, but also, if you attempt to load in at two different places in the world, it just crashes the whole world. So, um, unfortunately, that limits some of the things that we can accomplish sometimes. But let's see, my map. Like I was saying, we pretty much hit all these markers over on this island, but we still have all of this, which we have yet to explore. And again, there are things at all of these markers. Um, these markers out on the side, some of Syria and my test facilities. Um, but then out here on the far border, let's see, where is it? I believe it's at A. Monday's village was out here in the desert. Um, our storm village showed up right next to some things that Rooster had built when they were playing. But yeah, still lots and lots of space to build, and still lots and lots of space to explore, and lots of things to see that we haven't seen yet in the game. So hopefully, two things will happen. Hopefully, you'll all stick around and we'll all stick around, but the second thing being that the game can handle the things that I plan to do with it. So keep your fingers crossed for all of that.
I am pretty excited and hopeful. And also, I'm hoping we get a really good second Star Wars update soon.
Absolutely, yeah. I made the joke on General Ronimus's post recently. I said, unlike every Star Wars character, I have a good feeling about this. Um, 'Cause
Oh,
I was ready to be let down by the first Star Wars pass. I really was, you know.
and they did
And
amazing.
yeah, they over delivered in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
above and beyond,
that's
absolutely.
when they thought, you know, they didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't know yet that this was going to be a hit the way it is.
Y- Yeah. And
Um,
I know I will admit that I've been complaining about the vehicle stuff this whole stream, but honestly at the same time, like there's so many other parts of the game that
oh yeah.
if it takes them time to address it, I'm willing to wait.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, there's some issues, especially with their vehicles. For a couple reasons. A lot of them were put out before like the new physics and the new weights and the new yada yada. You know what I mean? So they don't work. That's the bottom line. And it's
Speaking
not,
about
you
that,
know, what's that?
speaking about that, 12 o'clock tomorrow is when my little 14-minute stream about using that airship and updating it to where it's functional will be live.
Right on.
That's excellent.
Um, but despite all the like setbacks and things that we have with vehicles, obviously, you know, things like the seat glitch and, you know, them switching up durabilities and things on us. Like, the stuff that we can do in this game still blows my mind.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
And I fully understand everyone's frustrations with vehicles, trust me. But if I hadn't spent the last year plus flying buildings and building ships and making dragons, I would have the exact same complaints. You know, there's workarounds, there's, you know, tricks and techniques that, you know, might not be intuitive immediately, but there's definitely workarounds for a lot of the issues that we have.
Oh yeah,
My
yeah.
first advice would be don't use the pieces they tell you to. I am wildly against the what are they, active foundations or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I do not like them at all. That's actually something I meant to point out on my villain car back in the toy box. Is there's not a single foundation in it. It's all floor pieces.
That's
Um,
incredible.
and you know, this is like saying Mech Mayhem had just come out. Um, so I don't know. I think at that point everybody was still doing it. But whatever happened, I don't care. And at this point, about 3 hours in, my brain is marshmallow fluff, so I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But that pretty much wraps up the tour. Um, like I was saying, if you folks want to hang around, if Trone and Remy, you want to jump in, I'm down to just goof off for a little bit. Um, but if you want to call it for tonight, I totally understand that as well. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Um,
to call it.
right
I
on.
do have a quick announcement if that's okay.
Absolutely. Um,
My Monday Olives channel is being turned into a simulation theory conspiracy channel, and also April Fools. That is not happening.
Oh, that was great.
that was good. For a second, I was like, wait, what? Wait, for real? Um, but speaking of
Turns
wild
into that, can I
theories,
subscribe twice?
what was that, Trone?
I said, if it turns into that, can I subscribe?
You can subscribe an infinite number of
Theoretically,
times.
yes.
But yeah, I guess that'll do it. Thank you everyone who came out and joined us tonight. Nothing went at all to plan because there wasn't one. But thank you Monday also for coming out and asking questions and commenting on things, so it wasn't just me talking to myself the whole night.
Oh, this was so much fun. I actually like it's really cool from my perspective because it was just really cool to have a jog of my memory in real time of all the incredible and amazing things that we've done in this game. This is like, I'm not just saying this, but like I've been a nerd my whole life. I've played D&D since second edition and advanced D&D, right? And like this is by far the funnest Dungeons and Dragons related thing I've ever done in my entire life.
That's awesome, Monday. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Though honestly, like this is some of the most fun I'm having playing D&D as well. You know, there's you know, I've been a dungeon master. I've been a player. You know, in you know more different campaigns and like games and you know everything from like Marvel superheroes and Ninja Turtles role-playing games to you know like
Oh my God! Talk about memory
space.
lane for me.
Yeah, all the Palladium games. Yeah, bud.
Oh, Vampire the Masquerade is probably my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
weird little
Dude,
one.
Ninja Turtles. Oh, I drove my cousin crazy playing that game. Used to
I
turn my character human looking,
yeah.
and I was a sniper porcupine.
Right on. I had a Wolverine named Torque. We worked for a mutant operation a group, excuse me, a mutant mercenary group called WASP, WASP. I can't remember what the initials stood for, but come to find out, the guy who ran it was a giant uh, mutant hornet. So,
That's
ba-dum-ching.
incredible.
But anyways, yeah, we've been playing as long as I can remember. You know, like even before I understood the game. You know, like just knew that my older brother did it and wanted to do what he did. You know. But yeah, out of
I'm
all
looking
of
at
it,
on my shelf in the office right now.
what was that, John?
You know what I'm looking at on the shelf in my office right now?
What's that?
The BattleTech board game, the Marvel board game, Shadowrun,
Heck yeah.
Hero Quest, Mutant Chronicles.
Right on.
I've
Hey,
actually
good
been
night, Haskins.
playing. Good night, Haskins. I've actually been playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Batman tabletop simulation board game of that real board game where you like basically play as a superhero. Like you can be Batgirl or Supergirl or Batman or
Heck
the
yeah.
Ninja Turtles themselves, and you fight like Shredder and stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah,
Tabletop
yeah.
Simulator is pretty amazing with all the board games you can try out on it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things I love about this is now we have our own tabletop to play our D&D game on, and beyond that, I can build anything I want. I don't have to paint the miniature. I don't have to go to the game shop and you know figure anything out. You know, but yeah, this has definitely been for me as well, uh, like the most fun I've had. Because I've made a whole lot of worlds in my time for different campaigns, and this one there's no rules, you know. Like in every
Yeah.
other D&D campaign, it was like a serious, you know, or semi-serious, or you know, quasi-serious, and like no, here we're in Lego, and we worship a llama, you know, like that's what's
And
up, you know.
it definitely helps that you can like log into the world itself and go exploring and
Oh yeah,
like physically like see it. Like I have also done a massive amount of world building. I've made a massive amount of player made content for Dungeons and Dragons in my day, and this is still the coolest.
yeah. I have a lot of fun, and you guys make it fun for me too. Um, but yeah, if chat doesn't have any questions, um, it's funny. I thought about it later after I was like, oh, we'll do a K and K Q&A. I was like, the people who watch the stream are gonna be people who already know the answers. You know what I mean? Like nobody's gonna be like, so what is this strange new thing? You know? And who
Yeah.
knows? You know, like there was a couple names that went by. I didn't catch them all, but that I didn't recognize immediately. So yeah, maybe some people didn't know a lot about it, and maybe they still don't know a lot about it. But it's a thing we do every Tuesday night where we play Lego D&D, essentially. And it's called Caverns and Klombos instead of Dungeons and Dragons. Because we're punny fellows. But, yeah. How you feeling, Monday? It's been 3 hours and 12 minutes and 39 seconds.
I'm feeling very good night, adventurers.
Good night, adventurers.
Good night, adventurers.
Good night, adventurers.
Join us next week for our regularly scheduled play session. Maybe this refresher will inspire some cool moments in the future. I don't know. I'm just talking out my face hole now. But yeah, thank you Monday, thank you Remy, and thank you Trone for coming out, and thank you everyone in chat as well. I will, when this posts, go and cut it up into skippable sections so you can check out the builds yourselves without having to watch the entire thing, because nobody wants that, not even me. And yeah, we will see you in 1 week's time. I will be 1 year and 1 week old then. And yeah, I hope to see you then. And whether you watch now, whether you watch later, whether you watch ever, just keep building. We'll catch you soon. I gotta figure out how to end the stream since I closed so many windows.
That was amazing. Oh wait, it's still on.